Ducks Don't Get Cold Feet, podcast number 23. And
Good
we
number.
have had some famous people for the last 22. And I think you guys are going to continue on.
Oh, right, okay.
That's where I was going
I was
with
going to
it.
say, you've gone right. You fucked that up. Anyway, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah,
Sensational.
So we're here with Matt and James. They both play a part in Dirty Clean Eats, which is I don't know how this came about, but this was at my gym and I tried it there. That's actually where I first tried it. And I was like, whoa, that tastes interesting. And then my next comment was, this has to be healthy for you.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, intrigued. And the next minute I see it start to be available in some of our supermarkets and bumped into you into a store. Hey, let's have a chat. So here we are. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So who's the biggest talker out of you both? I can have a bit of a brief history of each one of you.
Mm-hmm.
And just in case no one can actually see this, it's two, what I would assume are males.
Yeah. We identify as,
They're identified as that, or they could be gender fluid, I'm not sure. They have beards and short hair. So over to you, James.
What was the question?
Just a bit of bag of stuff. Like people are probably trying to figure out who you are.
Who's the bigger talker? Well, the bigger talker depends what we're talking about. So, yeah, we'll battle each other for that title.
Well, I'm here. It's about how do you get started with what you're doing now?
Somewhat by mistake.
Okay.
A camping trip was really the beginning of all of it. Like we went camping together 4 years ago, I reckon, and we were sitting around the campfire drinking beers and talking about. I can go way back, but I'll be here talking for the next 2 days. Essentially, we started talking about how it was difficult for men to talk about mental health in our current environment, and we both wanted to do something to try and help with that. Neither of us really knew what to do. Both had normal corporate jobs, and so we thought, we'll start a website and we'll upload a heap of information, healthy eating recipes. Like we've both had a martial arts background. We've both played various different sports, and we thought, we'll just start creating content. So that's how Dirty Clean Eats came. That's a very summarized version of how Dirty Clean Eats came about. And then,
so it wasn't even a product.
No, a cart before the horse. We had a business, ABN registered, a good year and a half before we'd even tasted Jamu for the first time.
In fact, I wanted to make a physical product, and Matt was so dedicated from the very beginning. He's like, we're not doing a physical product. It's too hard.
So much work. Digital product. We'll do it online. It's so much easier. It can go worldwide. And then 5 minutes. I shot down, 5 ideas. He wanted to start a food company to start with.
Food, pre-made.
Food truck?
Pre-made meals.
Pre-made meals.
Okay.
And then I spoke to someone afterwards that does it and found out how much money they made and went, oh shit, I probably should have said no.
I should have let him do it, but no.
But Jamu, I couldn't deny. We kind of accidentally did that one. So he was making it for friends and family, making it for me. And by that point, I couldn't really say no to a physical product when I wanted the physical product.
Yeah, it was funny. We went to Bali, obviously. Matt's got a much richer martial arts background than I do in some respects, or mixed martial arts anyway. And he was like, I'm going to Bali to this place to train because they've got a gym over there. I'm going to go and do 5 weeks of training. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds all right. We had DC up and running. We were just dabbling away, making, I don't know if you've had a look at the website, just writing silly articles on shit and basically not really knowing what we were doing. And we went to Bali, and one of the guys who's now moved back, but a good friend of ours, Luke, is a pro fighter. He was living in Bali at the time. And essentially, we went out and got the shit kicked out of us every day by all these guys that were training 6-7 days a week. And then they'd take us to the local cafes and they were all drinking this orange liquid. And we were like, well,
that's
why they're beating us. That's if that's what the pros are doing. I actually reached out. There was a place in Bali that do like Jamu Tonic, and I reached out to them and I was like, oh, can you show me how to make, not thinking that they might care about their recipe being private. I was like, I want to go back to Australia and make this, how do you make it? And they wouldn't tell me how to make it.
It's funny about that.
Crazy, right?
I'm very nice.
Not very helpful.
It could have worked out different if you went to China.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
So just this product. So because I want to hear more about that process. I mean, you've given us a broad brush of that. So you ever eventually get told we're not telling you what's in it?
Yeah.
So how did you then come about with this recipe, or did you license it, or how did it work out?
We came back, and I, again, through the Spice Girls connection, I had access to a commercial kitchen, so I just started
So what's your favourite Spice Girl?
Scary Spice.
Baby.
Scary. Baby?
Gotta be baby.
Yeah.
Sporty.
Yeah. I think Spotty for me.
Let's just say them all, just in case they're listening.
I always say that to people. They're like, oh, whenever I get asked, which Spice Girl are you? And I'm just like, oh, Scary Spice.
Should say David Beckham.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Oh, dear. What was the question? I started
So
making...
where
I
did
started
the actual recipe come from?
trial and error. I made a few different batches, looked at about 15 different recipes because Jamu is an Indonesian medicine, so it varies from province to town to town on what ingredients they put in it.
So is it like a carver?
Sort of, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more like it's like a fruit juice with
tea.
fruit juice / tea.
So if I drink these shots, what will happen?
You
You'll
grow about a
increase.
foot taller,
Yeah.
and your muscles get really big,
Yeah.
and your skin goes green sometimes.
Yeah. You gain an inch
All right.
in length or girth.
Okay. I'll take both. So,
Asterix.
so this is a shot of
That's a shot of
Yeah.
Jamu with honey and lemon in it.
yeah, and the honey and lemons to give it some flavour. So
Well, remember
Helps the medicine go
you
down.
remember when you tasted it the first time and you said,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, that's got to be good for me."
Yeah.
This is trying to trick people into thinking that it's not.
okay, here
Sort
we
of.
go. Jamu. It's actually pretty nice.
Not what you expected.
No, I thought it'd be a lot harsher than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some sweet and sour.
That's the
got a bit of kick to
that's
it.
the honey and
Do you want
lemon.
one? I'm gonna. How badly will this go if I throw it to you? Go on, go
Well,
on.
depends if Ollie catches it.
I told you I'll find something to bring.
Yeah. So it's nice.
Essentially, we brought into the market, or we're bringing into the market, because the concentrate is such an acquired taste that some people will drink it and go turn their nose up at it. That's why we started making the ready to drinks as well. So it's a more accessible product, I guess. Instead of saying here's a bottle of concentrate, there's 20 shots, roll the dice and see if you like it. It's an easier way to.
So obviously there's lots of tradition with the product until you brought it over.
Yeah.
Did you do much research into the different provinces of what they were actually producing?
I looked at recipes from different provinces, but then I picked out the things that I balanced the flavors to how we wanted it to taste, basically. So it was there's other stuff that some of them use that we don't use in our Jamu. But we basically made about 4 or 5. I had 4 or 5 all different ratios of stuff, and then when Luke was back over from Bali on holiday, we actually got him over and we did a blind tasting on which flavor we liked the best, and that's the one we changed it once. We reduced the amount of garlic in it because the first recipe we got overwhelming feedback that the garlic was too strong. Not that bothers me. I really like garlic.
We want the
but-
goodness of the garlic without the taste of the garlic. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, so that's the only change we've made to the recipe thus far.
Okay. And all natural ingredient?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we focused on I think Jamu actually means health tonic in Indonesian.
there you go.
Means
So
healthy.
essentially, it's whatever. The only real consistency was turmeric. I think with all the recipes
Turmeric and ginger.
I was looking at, it was just they were basically whatever was local they were chucking in. So we decided to kind of mix the tradition with the new and do the same thing. So we were going to take what we could get in Australia. As it's a lot easier to get Australian ingredients in Australia. Made our life a lot easier. And then we mixed it with a little bit of the research we're doing. So for instance, turmeric, black pepper is supposed to, and this is where you're going to realize I didn't do very well in science in school, but according to people that know what they're talking about, black pepper makes the turmeric be absorbed better into your body.
Yeah.
So I think it's curcumin. Curcumin, something with a C,
Yeah.
is the bit of turmeric that's supposed to help you with your sore muscles and your inflammation. And black pepper is supposed to make that more effective in getting
Okay.
your body. So I don't believe that's in the traditional ones, any of the recipes you saw.
A lot of them use cayenne pepper.
Yeah, pepper.
But yeah, some sort of pepper. We use black pepper because that's what all of the science said. All of the articles I looked at were black pepper. And then you look at some of the traditional recipes and they were using cayenne, which I presume was for a similar reason. But yeah, everything I found was black pepper. So I
So
stuck
take
with
me
that.
back to you're in Bali and you go to this cafe and everyone's drinking this this Jamu?
Jamu.
Yeah.
Everyone's drinking it. What made you think, oh shit, that'd be good to sell in Australia?
Oh, we didn't.
No, didn't.
We're like, we went there every day and we enjoyed it. And again, we say that we're making a healthy product with ingredients we like. We don't try and sell anybody medicine or anything like that. Like it's just a drink. I personally felt better having it. Like lower back pain, little aches and pains. Whether it was in my head, whether it was in there, it made me feel better. So I was having it every day. So the reason we ended up selling it is because
I got fucking sick of making it for everyone for free, basically.
I wanted it, so he was making me up batches, and then mum and dad wanted it, brother-in-law wanted it,
My
your
family wanted it. People at footy club wanted it, and then eventually I'm like, this is starting to cost me money. And then again, because I had the access to a commercial kitchen, I was like, oh well, actually, I'll just make it up in bigger batches and sell it to you guys, and then we sort of snowballed from there. A few people were like, oh, you should take this into some health food cafes, and then we ended up getting introduced to your head office through someone else I can't remember now, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll have a look at this. So then we ended up in
all
a
the
heap
stores.
of South Australian foodlands.
So when we look at going back into things that you were doing, what were you doing previously? Like what sort of whereabouts were you obviously born in South Australia?
No, I was born in England.
England?
Yeah, we moved here when I was 10.
Whereabouts did you go?
Whereabouts
What
here?
area, yeah?
Oh, we were from Dorset, so the southwest coast, and we moved to the coast here, the Fleurieu, basically. So I grew up in McLaren Vale.
So you got a job originally out of school doing, what was your first job?
Oh, first job?
Yeah.
Catching turkeys.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that?
That was for Aldinga Turkeys at the time.
Okay.
We used to
Paid
contract...
him in turkeys.
No, they used to... It was one of Dad's mates had the haulage company, and they used to pick me up on school holidays and Sunday afternoons. We used to go catch turkeys and take them back to the turkey factory. So, fuck knows when that would have... Yeah, I was chuckling to myself on the way here. I'm like, I've done some weird shit in my life. Like, this could be an interesting conversation. So have you, actually. We've done an interesting collection of things.
Haven't followed a very linear path.
So when you were catching turkeys there, did you think this is me? Oh, this is what I...
What do you reckon?
this is what I... So what did you do after that?
I reckon I worked at Bilo, when Bilo was still a shopping centre. Then I went to Macca's.
What did you do at Macca's?
Made burgers.
It's a good place.
Oh, it was from a learning how to work in a work environment for a young kid. It was actually a pretty good... Like, they were super structured, which is good for me because I'm not very structured. So it was good. It's like, everything's automated. But then I went into car... I think I went into car sales after that, and then it ended up in a financial institution selling finance, essentially.
Okay. McDonald's... Oh, we recently had a chat at a school, and they were almost embarrassed to say they work at McDonald's and KFC. First jobs.
Yeah.
15, 14-year-olds. And I'm like... It's an amazing company to work for.
So I'm lucky you didn't get to work for the mayor, eh? Like, what job do you think you're going to do?
Yeah, what do you...
But, it's all about what you learn from whatever job you do.
Yeah.
And, I can tell you, if I was trying to catch some turkeys, you'd be the first person I'd want to help catch them. Do you think you'd still be able to catch them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Please don't say there's a turkey. Like, I'm just waiting for a door to open and be like, quick, catch this turkey. Like, fuck.
I really hope there's a turkey.
So, Matt, that's a fair bit of the spotlight on James.
Yeah, Jesus.
Come on, mate.
I think we've answered your question. He likes to talk.
Yeah.
So, in regards to where were you brought up? You brought up in Adelaide?
Yeah, I'm local.
Yeah.
I'm the... almost had to marry him for a citizenship test there to get the business off the grounds. Nearly just got... Luckily, he passed the test.
Yeah, much to the dismay of your wife.
I think she was backing on it too.
Wife
She
was
like,
livid.
That's my escape route.
So, whereabouts? North, south, east, west?
North. I'm
Yeah.
north. I grew up in Woodvale.
Okay.
So not north, but north enough. North
Yeah.
enough that it takes a while to drive to the city.
Yeah. So, and it would have back then, not that you guys are old or anything like that, but
Yeah,
what was
it
your
was-
first
before-
job?
I went for Toys R Us.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a dream job.
I was exactly that kid that decided they were too good to work for Nuggets and KFC. I remember, funnily enough, memory works. I think I had bet's probably too strong of a word. Arguing with mum because I decided that I was destined for great things. I wasn't going to go get a job. Well, first of all, I didn't want a job at all because that seemed like work.
Oh, you're
It's
right.
It's right there.
Well,
in the
I got to
name.
ask, which Toys R Us?
The one at Teacher Plaza or Teacher
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then I applied for one job and one job only, and I got the first job I applied for, so I had to go work there. I worked there for like 5 years in the end, but that was a good job, especially I ended up having doing the like whenever Pokemon would come out or any of whatever was the thing, you got to play games with the kids. It was awesome. I sat there and played Pokemon cards all day and got paid Sunday rates for it. It's the best job. It's the best job I've ever had.
I've been ripped off.
Maybe I should go back.
Well, it's hard to find the Toys R Us.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
I'm just
yeah, we're
saying.
going to go play with kids
But-
on Sundays. That's,
But,
frowned
you
upon.
know, you go back and look at things that you've done and you're like, oh, didn't want to work. Oh, got my first job. Oh, actually, and you got the job at Toys R Us. And that's always a place that I said, oh, one day when I grow up, I want to own a toy shop.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably all kids
You
think
can
that.
still open a toy shop.
Yeah,
Make a couple of phone calls.
Make it a digital one. We could do it
There we
together.
go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Boom,
but if you start a digital bloody company with him, within a year you're going to be selling a product. You'll be sitting there getting your brick and mortar out, building a wall.
So when you were there, yeah, I haven't asked what you did yet. Next after,
Yeah.
what was your next move after Toys R Us? So you would have been like 20.
Yeah, I tried uni a couple times.
Yeah. Did you just not get the grade, or didn't, or you went and didn't?
I didn't go. That was the problem.
Oh,
yeah. So
Well,
I went.
But what uni did you go to?
I went to Adelaide.
Does it have a bar?
Yeah, no one told me.
They
that.
all
Otherwise
have
I might have
bars.
rocked
No,
up.
Uni
they-
doesn't have a bar.
They don't.
Which one doesn't?
Uni of Adelaide doesn't have a bar.
No.
That's why everyone
What?
failed.
Adelaide Uni?
Yeah, doesn't have a bar.
They did when I went there because I found that out. That was the only time
Nah.
I started rocking up.
No, that was,
Well, someone
No.
was giving me alcohol. Are you trying to say
Huh?
that man behind the building
huh?
wasn't an?
Uni Adelaide has a bar.
Adelaide Uni.
It's the Uni SA.
Ah.
No bar. Yeah, that's
What
why.
about the one at the end of Polney? Is that Uni SA at the end of Polney Street?
Oh, well, McGill doesn't.
Well, McGill doesn't
no, that's
either.
the teachers one.
UniSA is on Harley Street though, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you can
I
find
know,
it.
but this is why people are failing.
Because they're not drinking enough.
Yes. At uni. So Uni Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one on the other side of the road.
That's the one. Yeah,
They've got a
North
bar.
Terrace. Yeah, they got. A
yeah. Yeah, at the other one, whatever that, Uni SA. They don't have a bar.
People don't. Well, people. I can't remember who told me the other day. It was a teacher, I reckon. They were saying heaps of kids don't like. They don't have the same drinking culture as we did. They're all doing different stuff.
What kind of different stuff, James?
Yeah, what sort
I
of
don't
different
know.
stuff are you talking about?
I don't know.
Tide Pods.
Yeah,
I can't get behind that,
They're
James.
all.
that's just what I'm hearing. It's just what I'm hearing from the people on the front.
Who are you
line.
hearing these
They're
things
all
from?
Just
popping
teachers.
UPSs and Dom Perignons, mate.
Yeah, wow.
So they're probably on the MDMA, are they, Ollie?
Yeah.
What are young kids doing these days? Bit of wacky weed, eh? Hey, Ollie?
It's cocaine.
No, they can't afford that.
Jamu, yeah.
Oh, they probably can afford cocaine. They're living at home.
Yeah.
Why do you think
That
they're living at
20 money.
home?
So that's, yeah.
Mum
All
still
those-
drives them around everywhere, don't they, Ollie?
Smashed avocado.
So, they're eating avocados. But moral of the story, they're doing something different, right?
Exactly. Good on them.
And they are drinking because I'm seeing it in my own eyes. Seeing
Well,
Ollie,
yeah, I
we
was gonna
take
say
Ollie
that.
out to do some work.
Yeah.
Next minute, he's in hospital getting stitches.
Oh, really? Why?
Straight up lie. yeah,
It's not true, Cherry Popper.
Milk it. Milk it.
mate, I wasn't at work, was I?
Well, you were at work originally.
Just say you saw a skateboard, you went to do some sort of gnarly kickflip
Nah, no,
nah,
I'm
I
not.
just fell over, got stoned in my knee for 4
Yeah.
hours.
I had to go to
off the
hospital.
skateboard.
No. You remember when you got stones in your knees? You just ripped it out.
I just cut my knee off.
Yeah, back in
Screw
my
a new
day,
one.
I had to walk 14 miles to work and 16 miles home with 7 turkeys on my back.
See? And that's believable. So, Toys R Us.
Yep.
Uni, couple of times.
Tried a
Yeah.
couple times.
Just
Yeah.
just wasn't a thing for you. Why was that?
I tried twice. First time, I didn't make it for the first 7 weeks. I knew. I'm going to pretend like I did. I knew at the start. I couldn't be bothered, for lack of a better word. But I passed. And then I found out one of the fine print is you need to have rocked up for X amount of
Days.
time. So that pissed me right off. Because I think I got distinctions in a couple of things. Because it's not very hard.
Attendant-
I'll give you
not
a
in
hot tip.
attend-
First
not
year
in
uni is
attendance.
not very difficult, depending on what you're doing. But
Bachelor of Arts.
yeah, I was doing psychology stuff. That's pretty simple.
Well,
That
I'm assuming you're not doing any surgery. yeah.
Nah.
So
Not on the club.
So obviously, so then you would have been a bit disappointed.
Yeah, that seemed like I thought you should have got extra points for
For
passing
getting
and
high,
not
not
rocking
going.
up.
Yeah.
I personally think that's a plus, not a negative. So I took the rest of that year off, tried again. I reckon I lasted 2 weeks that time, and I just went, this is not for me. So I managed to cancel that one before I had to pay for it. If you cancel before March, you don't have to pay for the semester. So the second time,
I like all the nods of agreement. She's like, yeah, he's right.
So yeah, second time I went, nah, this is not for me. I barely made it through school. I'm not going to subject myself to it.
This is breaking point here. So then what?
I bummed around, got some jobs for a while. Would have just seeing
Memorable jobs in that?
in that period. A lot of call center work. Funnily enough, if you don't have any experience, call centers will hire you. the dodgier the call center, the more likely they are to hire you.
So what happens in a call center?
Pardon?
What happens in it?
Depends. I've worked in a few call centers.
Yeah.
It depends if you're in a good one or inbound, outbound, or whether you're selling something or not.
Yeah.
So you think you got a good voice for sales?
I've got a good face for sales, especially if it's over
It
the
doesn't
phone.
help if you're at the call center.
Especially over the phone.
She's got a face for radio.
I've got a face for podcasts.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I can have that call center. I got a good face for it. But so then what?
Then I got a job working for the government.
Yeah.
So-
Doing what?
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. Nah, just same old subject. I think in the call center, funnily enough.
Were you like a dialer pole or something?
No, I got to call people up and tell them that they had money. That was a good call center to work in. You call people up and told them they had some lost money they didn't know about.
I would have hung up. That's real.
Yeah.
Is that real?
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us your bank details and your
Yeah.
PIN number.
Put the number in
Yeah.
after that.
Just put your credit card number and PIN into the system.
So I got this call today. What would you
Here we
make
go.
of this call?
There's even more to explore on Disney Plus. Coming February 23rd.
I think it might have been Disney.
This must be an ad-on something that's on in the background. Isn't it?
They cared about the party.
Oh, I'm like,
We were just merely these weird little sort of side
what the fuck do you listen to?
That they were concerned about. It wasn't about
It's
us.
some news thing.
It wasn't.
I thought that was the call.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really odd
I'm like,
call.
I'm just like, oh god.
I got this call. I got this.
That has been suspended, and we have filed a case under your name. So before this matter goes to federal courthouse.
Shit.
I got that one the other day.
You better
too.
bring them quick before it.
Press 1 to know about your legal case. Thank you.
Did you press 1?
Yeah.
You're in trouble, mate.
But like that's the sort of shit that goes on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is that what you were doing?
No, I was legitimate. Well, legitimate. You know what I have noticed on those ones though? The accents have got much better this year. I've got the dodgy ones where you're getting ripped off.
You can tell.
Yeah. Well, no, it's harder to tell.
Yeah.
Same as the emails, because I know that normally the dodgy emails you get, they purposely make them with spelling mistakes. They purposely make them.
I don't think they're doing it on purpose.
No, they do. They do it on purpose because they're not aiming for that middle 80%. They're aiming for the vulnerable. They're aiming for the people down the bottom. So they don't care. They want to. It doesn't matter. Essentially, they don't care.
They don't care.
They're just whipping it out. It's a numbers game. They'll send it out to 1 million people.
I think if you rang me and said, "Hey, we're giving you some money," I'd be like, "Yeah, hang up." Like I think people now are not going to receive any phone calls off anyone for any reason.
Yeah.
Is that fair to
Try
say?
doing it when you're 19 and your voice has barely dropped.
Yeah.
They do not think you are official.
Do they believe you on it or not? Like, is that?
So I'm trying to.
Because
it's nearly 15 years ago. I'm trying to
It's
remember.
not that long ago.
Oh, it is when you've been in that a lot.
Who are these people?
Where am I again?
Oh God! So if you have a look at, you get a drink out to market. You first of all start a website that was just for mental health.
Yeah.
What possessed you to go down a mental health road? Like, why mental health? Why was that the one to go down?
There was a few reasons.
Yeah. Well, I think the main one for us is we both came from our leisure activities were stereotypical, like blokey, for lack of a better term. Like people aren't stereotypically very good about talking about their mental health in particular. So I think that's what it came up for us, because this is probably the first friendship I'd had with another man where you actually could
Kiss.
talk about
Oh,
your feelings.
what?
What? Oh, shit. Shh. Again, my wife is listening. Where you can actually talk about be honest and talk about your feelings or talk about stuff with, which we realized that it was probably the first time we'd ever spoken to someone who wasn't directly related to us, honestly.
Yeah.
And realized that that's
Rare.
a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. And we thought that giving people the avenue and then also demonstrating that it's okay to kind of be honest, for lack of a better word, is okay. It's probably the way we want to go down it.
Yeah, one of the biggest, when we went camping, when it all sort of came about, was I'd just finished.
So how long ago was this? What year was this?
It was 4 years ago, November,
No.
I reckon.
No way.
This November or not last
There's
November?
no way.
3 years.
It's like 10.
10 years?
It's like, yeah.
We went camping? You're full of shit.
See, you've had a few hits. So let's
It was a while ago.
It was 4, I'm pretty sure it was 4.
It's probably 7.
4 or 5
Let's
years.
call it 6.
Okay. But yeah, we started talking, and I'd just done a course through my work at the time for giving demonstrations to large groups of people. It was it was called Beyond Words, and they just help you overcome social anxiety, essentially. But one of the guys I did the course with, again, super summarized form, was the most alpha male you've ever, picture the alpha male, and it's this guy.
I think he played him on TV.
And he's like, we're at the end, it was a 10 or 14 week course, and nobody was allowed to know what your last name was or what you did, because the whole science behind it was if you go into this thing, and they make you do all sorts of weird shit. If you go in there and you know that you're with a doctor and a psychologist, you're going to be more concerned about acting like an idiot in front of all of these strangers. So yeah, you have a level of anonymity. And then on the last week of this course, you got to do a 5-minute presentation to the rest of the group, and you could do it on whatever you wanted, but most people did it on who they were and told a story about what they'd done. And this guy gets up, he's 6'3", 6'4", built like a brick shithouse, starts talking and tells us this huge story about how he was selected for the Australian Special Forces. He got accepted to go to the SAS in England. He packed up all his stuff here, told everyone, I'm going off to be in the SAS. And went over there. He told us a hellish story about their Hell Week or whatever they call it for the SAS, and how he ended up breaking down and quitting. He put his flag up or whatever and quit, and he came back to Australia and didn't he told people, obviously knew that he didn't get in, but he never really went into detail because he just felt so ashamed. And then in this presentation to us, he broke down in tears, telling us about it, how we were the first people he'd actually told that he quit. And I just remember sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, this guy, to me, this guy should have, he's bulletproof, and he has got all the same worries, anxieties and stresses that I do. And that's I was telling Matt that story, and that sort of led us down a path of oh, wait a minute.
It resonated.
Yeah, everybody has these issues and nobody talks about it. So that in summary is how the website sort of came to fruition.
So I think it's interesting you start straight off the bat with articles and content.
Yeah.
And then, the goal wasn't to sell your tonic or your drink. That wasn't it at all.
Nah.
Neither of us.
We just really like the drink.
Yeah. Neither of us went to business school, man. We fell right into it.
It was not my intention at all to have a product.
So then you go into getting a site working, and then what period of time was all this taking about? Well, I mean, that's pretty serious with the mental health issues and people not being able to talk. People come in here and they leave and they go, oh, fuck, that felt like therapy. And I thought, that's good, because I got to have it's very often you get a couple of hours speaking to someone in the one spot without, technically looking at your phones or other distractions.
Yeah.
And if you could do that with your wife once a week, it would probably be a lot better, because there's always other things going on. So I don't know. I think the way that you brought it up to look into it, I think it's amazing. And I don't think you actually even thought that was what it was going to be.
Yeah. We started off, I think, do you want to tell them what our business plan was?
Yeah, I'd be curious to go, what was the initial business plan at the start of all of this?
See if I can...
it was a
you said we could swear, but I might edit it down to normal swearing.
Yeah.
Was it? I think step one, pop the corporate dick out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Step 2, make money doing something.
No, help someone.
Oh,
Help someone was, I think, number 1 maybe. It was like help someone, pop the corporate titty out of your mouth, and
try not to be a dick.
Try not to
and
be
dick,
a.
and dick
try
has
not to
been
be.
dick has been heavily edited.
Yeah. And if we can make some money while we're doing it, then fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that was literally, and then it was just like, okay, how are we going to do that?
Yeah.
It's like the old, what is it? The like step 1 product, step 2 question mark, step 3 profit.
So you had a mission statement
Yeah.
and a vision.
Oh, we like I used to do project management, so we had all the corporate stuff you were supposed to have.
Yeah.
It just had giant penises drawn on the back of it.
We still got them.
So a bit of an anti-establishment. I mean, what you were working for a corporate. What were you doing?
I was working in like IT project management.
So same sort of
Same type of stuff.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
Oh, what's going on? You got barbecue tools,
give me a
everything's
barbecue
happening.
tool. Oh my god. What? How hard is this? Right.
Oh, I thought I had got myself into something.
Contact.
You're halfway through a podcast and they start getting out the whips and the chains. You know what I mean?
Surprise.
It's time to have a beer.
You know I've got one.
Oh, it's more
Yeah, but that was
dramatic.
much more fun.
This,
This
Cheers.
is what,
Cheers,
more of our
cheers.
Sorry,
podcast-
audio.
So, yeah. Get young
Cheers.
Jamie onto it.
Okay. So you had a very structured attack at all. Both doing corporate.
Yeah. The structure
Like,
certainly was helped by you.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. How did you structure it all together? Like,
I'm
So
still,
you put
I'm
it all
still not
together.
sure.
We have a we've only figured it out very recently, and we're still figuring out the nuance of it. So both of us, I think, independently, have said that we pride ourselves in handling a little bit more chaos than most people can. And I think probably for the first 4 years of our business, we both assumed that the other one meant the same thing that we're talking about, which we got a lot of stuff done, but a little bit of volatile stuff along the way. And it's only recently we figured out that we have 2 very different approaches to handling chaos.
okay. So, well, I think you do a bit of fighting.
Yes.
MMA
Well,
or
coaching now, but yeah.
But MMA or
So
cage or
primarily
some
jiu-jitsu, but it's an
jiu-jitsu?
MMA gym. So we had 3 guys fight on the weekend, actually.
How'd they go?
2-1, one lost a very close decision. So good night.
Good bad.
Good night had by all.
So, do you think handling chaos helps a fighter? And can you say that in general, if you go look at some great fighters, which you'll know, if you say some names, I might know them.
Well, it depends on your approach. Everyone has a different style. But so like if I go down like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is what I predominantly do these days, that is, in a nutshell, applying order to chaos. So if me and you are both standing up in this room, there are so many different things that can happen. Like we can both move on the complete plane of movement. I'm moving independently, you're moving independently, we're reacting to each other, all kinds of things are happening. The more that I can exert control on you or you can exert control on me, it's limiting the possibilities. The more and the less possibilities, the more I can anticipate what you can do. So eventually, if I can get to the point where I'm pinned up against the wall facing the other way, it's not really many things I can do that are very productive. And there's lots of things that you can do that are very productive.
Yeah.
So you're minimizing, you're controlling that chaos by minimizing it until the point where there's actually not much to handle. There's only really 2 things that can happen.
Yeah.
That is, in a summary, exactly how you're. Yeah.
That's how you did your
Approach.
business.
My approach to everything
Yeah.
is just control the controllables. Control what you can control, and then whatever's left over, it's probably manageable.
And it's fair to say most fighters seem to be quite calm.
Yeah. Well, a
Externally.
little bit of a different tangent, but I think a lot of things, particularly for men, that you'd consider bad behavior is a result of insecurity. And when you've put on your underwear and gone and stood in a metal cage in front of 1 to 50,000 people, And like, there's no hiding there. Like, I got to do my thing and you got to do your thing. And I find that is very good for the ego and very good for the insecurity. Like, once you know who you are, you don't need to project stuff. And that comes across a lot of the time as calmness. But usually it's calmness in situations where lots of other people would not be calm. I remember a particular time when, because growing up, I had a bit of a temper, a little bit more. I introduced a little bit more chaos into my life. And I remember one time, I can't remember specific. We were at a party. I think my little sister was there, and I think we're out the back. It was a party, so I was drinking. So I'm filling in the gaps. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. But I think someone lobbed a glass over the window, or something happened, and like it just smashed in front of everyone. And basically, all the blokes at the party just immediately bolted off and started seeing whatever's going on. Whereas I was kind of went into caretaker mode. I'm like, okay, you go over there, you make sure everyone's okay. Okay, no one's been hit. Lock the door. And I remember my sister coming up to me afterwards, and she's like, "Oh, that's." I thought you would have been the first one out the door chasing.
So would I.
Chasing the bloke. Well, for whatever reason, I wasn't anymore. That didn't seem like chasing some dickhead down the street who's long gone didn't really seem like a priority. Making sure that my friends, family, and loved ones were safe and secure seemed like the logical thing to do at the time. But I remember, I haven't quite figured it out. Done a bit of reflection on it. I haven't quite figured out where it all came from. But I think that story probably sums it up a little bit where I'm at with it.
So I also think I agree with that in regards to the sense of people fighting, and it's also the opposite too. When people fight because they are insecure with everything they're doing, and they let you know about it probably more.
Yeah.
Hence the ones that probably talk the most. But
but they tend not to be people that are trained or actually doing it professionally, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Oh, Tim's trained.
Yeah. I'm good friends with Tim. Tim's an interesting man.
It'll be interesting if he actually listens. I'll soon hear about it.
He said he was going to try and come down, but he reckons he doesn't like coming down here. There's all sorts of rigmarole that happens here now.
Yeah,
he stays hidden. He stays hidden away in head office, he reckons.
Yeah, his team's here. That's the rigmarole we might be talking about. We'll definitely know if he listens to this. So if you go back into that chaos mode, and I used to watch UFC all the time. Loved it. I brought up with Bruce Lee, and everyone. So I did Zendu Kai. There you go. That's going back a long time ago. And then, I've been interested, but, I can handle myself, but not one that sort of looks for trouble. Sort of,
That's the best philosophy. Since I know how to fight, I've never been in a fight.
Yeah. I've been in spots where you go to pull people off or, you do what you've got to do, but I'm a pretty... it doesn't bother me because I think most people looking to fight will find someone to fight.
Yeah, some other drunk retard.
Evidently, at some stage, they will get hurt.
Yeah.
They'll also find a way to stay away from you if you're confident. People could, there's a lot in body language, tone, face. People, if you're projecting insecurity and going out there and getting stuff, you'll be surprised. Yeah, they're not just randomly trying to fight anyone. They're trying to be bullies.
And I guess I'm usually the one that can talk.
That's the best defense. For someone who runs a martial arts school, the best thing you can learn is to talk.
And I'm never really afraid I'm always want to go to. You've got to be self-aware if someone's could hit you or if someone from behind. But I'm always the one to go up and start to say, hey, settle down. But I saw a scene just yesterday, and it was these pro football players. So they were pro soccer players, not Aussie rules. They were in. If they weren't in America, I think they're in America. Yeah. And they were given lip to these. It was in the toilets, right?
Oh, no, they were NFL. I think they were high school NFL players or something.
I think I saw this video.
Yeah, and they were given lip, and they'd clearly hit these two fighters, which they
were wrestlers.
Did McDojo Life share this? I reckon he did.
I'm not sure. So they didn't know. They obviously didn't know these guys were fighters, and one of the fighters had blood coming down. You could see he was trying to just get out. Someone was filming in the toilets, and then the other guy just kept on starting, and then he boom, 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 3 quick hits, and then took him down. The other guy threw, and I look at that and I think serves your fucking self right. Like, people try to get out of the situation, and I that was justice.
They probably could have stopped hitting him after a while. I think his second mate came in. So
no, the other mate came in, and his other mate threw him, put him into the wall.
Yeah.
But
then he hit him a few. If he hit him a few more times than was necessary.
Yeah, but
I just think it's like people.
Adrenaline's going.
But people become bullies, especially after drinking, and the ego. And will we get to a place? Have you guys seen a show called Utopia?
No.
Yes, I have.
Right. So if you watch, we're going sci-fi now. So if you watch that, they give people these pills that keep them.
Oh, wrong show. I keep explaining. No, I haven't seen Utopia.
So they give these. So it's futuristic, and they give these people pills that keep their mood levels the same.
That sounds scary.
Sounds like that. There's a movie, The Island, or something, in there where they're like. Anyway, carry on.
Let's stick to Utopia.
Sorry, I digress.
So they give them these pills, and they stick toned. So when someone looks at them, they can see your level.
Yeah.
So, hang on, you need a blue pill, or if you need a green pill to pep you up, like they keep you monotone the whole time.
Yeah, right.
So what it means is there's no crime because everyone knows exactly what everyone's thinking because you can see it. You can see the levels of everyone else around you.
Yeah.
More, and it's got a hierarchy of the more senior people have the better pills.
Yeah.
And it goes all monotone through. And I watch it, I think, fuck, is that, they look at things like, is that where it all goes? Where people all
sounds like 1984.
Yeah, it's like a full modern day version of it. It's Utopia.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird to watch, but because because there's no diseases, they don't get sick, like their parties are like mass orgies because everyone's allowed to do whatever they want.
Sounds horrible.
Explains at the orgy.
Why are you blushing?
Fuck, guys, I'm explaining a show here, not real life. So then,
It's not the Christmas party for us, you all right?
I was getting my application ready. It's like, can I come work for you? These parties sound wicked.
Oh damn! So you watch it and think, oh, does that where it all goes? Because it clearly monotones everything out over periods of time, and that's what it's saying the future's like. So all these things that they do in between, just keeping everyone the same. I mean, I don't know. I see stuff like that, and it battens down ego. You talk about fighting and things that don't go right for most times. People are drunk and whatnot. What about when you are training to fight? And you do have a fight coming up? There's lots of preparation that goes into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you believe is the key? The key for preparation for a lead up for a fight?
Whoever works harder. Whoever's got the most dedication. And to be honest, it depends what you consider the preparation. Because generally you have a 4 to 12 week training camp. That's your period. Once you've had your fight booked beforehand where you are really, really dedicated. Most people do that. Almost everyone has the same formula. You train once a day, train twice a day. Depends if you've got a job and a wife and a kid and 3 dogs, or whether you do the most you possibly can, but you've got to have that training period. What separates the better people, in my opinion, is the training they do outside of that. So whoever was listening to something really good just today, and we're talking about sports. There's a certain level of talent that is going to make you better at sports than someone else. There's just if you're completely uncoordinated, you can still do it. You can still have fun. You can still compete. But at a certain level, Michael Jordan's going to be better at basketball than you. But they were talking about some of the best fighters in the world. They were talking about GSP, who's one of my personal favorite MMA fighters, and this is someone that trained with him. And they said, they'd go out and do their sprints or they'd go do their run, and he was always middle of the pack. Like athletically, by normal standards, he was an absolute specimen. But by elite athlete standards, he was just a guy,
just a regular guy.
And they said the reason that he was better than everyone else is because he trained harder. He rocked up harder. Like you assume that people, you have experience with athletes, and you just assume because you watch them on TV that they are approaching it like professionals and training very hard. In my experience, that's not necessarily the case. So at the end of the day, whoever trains the most is going to be the best.
Yeah.
With a little bit of
X factor.
A little bit of X factor. You got to have your ticket. Once you've got your ticket, whoever works harder wins.
Yeah, there's no doubt about training harder. And, you talk about Michael Jordan, he would hit like 150, free throws after every session.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods was hitting thousands of golf balls a day. I think there's no surprise that helps. Do you see it in the people in the level that you train?
Yeah, you have to. We have a very, I think I've been using the word professional too much. We have quite a high standard of what we expect from, all three guys have fought on the weekend for amateur fights. I say amateur fight. You're still in a cage. You're still getting punched in the head. You're not wearing a head guard. You're not wearing any shin guards. The gloves are the same. Like the rounds are a little bit shorter. That's about the extent of it. So it's not like going and playing a pickup basketball game at the local gym on the weekend. Like it is a certain level, but technically they're amateur fighters.
Yeah,
they were all training twice a day, 6 days a week. Plus they had to do their strength conditioning. So they're doing weights training. They're going for runs. They're going for sprints. They're going for swims. They're doing all of that. Then they're going to get their massage, the stretching. Like they're at work or they were training pretty much for that entire period. And then outside of that period, they're still training 6 days a week. It's like your rest period is you only have to train once a day. We only have to do 2 sessions a day. So there is that dedication to it. But then you brought up Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. I know a little bit more about Michael Jordan because I've watched his documentary.
Yeah.
Very dedicated person.
A psychopath.
I wouldn't want to be friends with him. I wouldn't want to be his wife for many reasons. He's a very large man. But like,
so you wouldn't want to be Michael Jordan's wife?
No.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Well, in this day and age, you could be.
I think if he wanted to, I wouldn't have much I could do about it. To be honest, what is he like 6'8"?
Yeah, he's a big
120 kilo.
At least.
I need at least.
And he's got orange eyes too. Fuck.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Really?
You got to see the doco, yeah.
Yeah, he had real red bloodshot
something.
eyes. It looked like liver problems or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, okay.
From in my medical opinion.
Well, is there something?
Yeah, maybe we should send him some Jamu.
Couldn't hurt.
Send him some Jamu.
Have you got his address?
I'm sure we could find it.
Yep.
I've got a basketball card with him on it.
There we go.
Well, how hard could this be?
Start the search.
I assume that the address of the athlete is printed on the card.
Well, that'd be out of nowhere.
That's why they're worth so much, isn't it?
Just Google it. Someone Googled Michael Jordan, Sylvie Farmer. And
Michael Jordan's address, yeah. See what comes back.
Can't be that hard. So, what were the top 2 things then? Training?
I think it's dedication.
Dedication.
Dedication bordering on selfishness.
Yeah, and I think you see that a bit of everyone that's at the top of their field.
I think it applies
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's 100%. And that's like they say, work-life balance. People talk about work-life balance. And, well, there's no such thing. You work and you live life. So how you work that, is there ever a balance?
Have you ever heard of the 4 burners principle?
No.
So gas stove or electric.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
Got 4 burners.
Yeah.
Assume it's gas.
Slow
though,
down, so gas?
Yeah, let's
it
go.
has to be gas because
okay.
it doesn't. I thought it through. It doesn't work on electric.
Let's go the gas.
Yeah.
Hang on. This will be a nice, clean, sweet edit. So it's a 4
Burner.
What's
burner.
called
I've already
4
forgotten
burner?
my own theory.
Yeah.
It's called the 4 burner theory.
on
So
gas.
So you've got has to be gas. Doesn't Yeah. work with electricity.
LPG or natural gas?
Natural gas, my
Okay,
friend.
cool.
Okay, couldn't be 4 fires very close together.
Could not. Has to be
Okay.
natural gas.
Okay.
Natural
Yeah.
gas.
All right.
Don't have natural gas.
Don't
Fuck
worry.
off.
Yeah.
So essentially, what it is, you've got your gas, natural gas,
Yeah.
connected to your 4 burners.
Are they the same size burner?
They
or-
are the same,
Okay, cool.
but that's going to get into my theory.
Okay,
That I'm now claiming.
Now
Yeah.
let's just let him finish the theory and
Oh,
one
yeah, I'll do
clean
that.
sweep. So your theory is called what?
It's my theory now. So it's the 4 burner theory. Natural gas, 4 stove tops.
Got it.
Right family on one.
Yep.
Right business on another. Right friends on another. Right health and fitness. No matter, you've only got a finite amount of gas. So if you want one to be on high, another one's got to be on low. You can't be, if you run them all with the gas full turned up, the flame's not going to be as high on all 4 of them. So you've got to pick what you want to put your energy and your life into. And like you said, that, again, let's pick on Michael Jordan because he's not here. I wouldn't want Michael Jordan's life. I can admire Michael Jordan's life. I can, from an athletic perspective, but watching, again, basing it off of that documentary and little bits and pieces, I wouldn't want to be his friend. Wouldn't want to be his wife. Wouldn't want that's not a life I would want. For me, I would like more gas to be turned on to family and more gas to be turned on health and fitness. I have unique.
What about business?
Well, I've managed to merge a couple of my stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to what we were doing is my business burner and my friends and family burner were two separate burners. So I've tried to hack the system and put the friends and the business on the same
great
burner.
analogy. I like this. And just for the record, we've found where Michael Jordan lives.
Oh, yes.
It's pretty fucking obvious with 23 written on his gate.
Yeah, 2700.
Yep. So he
Just
is,
don't tell him where I live.
Well, that's why when you said
that is not his address. 101 Michael Jordan Way.
No, it's written right above that in the capitals.
So, his house is for sale, guys.
Oh.
You guys can say you're interested and send some product. Help with his eyes. It'll go down really well.
Done.
All
Okay,
right, let's
onto it.
make sure we do it.
That's why when you said we were podcast 23 and there's been some famous people, I was like, yeah, good. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was Jordan's number. But
There's an irony of what the name of the road is. Point Drive.
Hey,
ah,
I assume you get to pick your own.
Point Drive.
yeah,
That's one of the benefits of being Michael Jordan. You get to pick your own lane, don't you?
yeah, and stay in it.
I reckon it's great. It's awesome. Burners. And you adjust them. But that changes too. So that goes up and down. And it changes accordingly.
Well,
Sometimes it's a lot more family, like maybe in holidays, and then sometimes you've got to crank up your business.
Yeah,
You mix it together. It's a good one.
You got to do what's right for you.
You know what? You could come up with a real.
I'm sure if
one
I
that's
keep looking at
just you.
psychology stuff, I could probably claim everyone's theories.
I would take that. So, how did you guys meet, James? How did you meet Matt here?
The abridged version.
a bridge. That's what I was looking for.
Dot, dot,
That's
dot.
the word I was looking
Dot,
for.
dot, dot. Hello.
So we were in a public toilet. No,
It was private.
we both got invited. We were like, you know how you have a group of friends that aren't your direct friends, and they have like it's the offshoot, like it's not your immediate
A different circle. A different burner, if you would.
A different burner, yeah, natural gas. Yeah, we both got invited by a group of mutual friends to a thing at Easter over on Yorks, and because we both did martial arts, everyone was like, oh, you guys will be friends. And the funny thing is, we both thought the other one was going to be a fuckwit before we actually
I did have a
met.
mullet.
Yeah.
How right you both were.
Luckily.
You got me. But yeah, I got over to, where was it, Wallaroo somewhere, and everyone was like, oh yeah, like go, like Matt's outside, go say hello. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is going to be painful. And then, yeah, sat down, I was like, hey, started having a yarn. Turns out either we're both fuckwits,
Yeah.
or that was heaps quieter than the last one.
Yeah, I was scared I was going to hit him.
Yeah, so then essentially just started having a yarn, and then ended up training together for 3-4 years.
It's always a blind date. Like we were out, like there was
we were
20
sort
people
of-
at this house. Next minute, I'm outside by myself, and they're sliding the door shut with this guy out there. I'm like,
And then
what are we doing?
I woke up in the morning. That was funny, actually. I was again abridged version because Matt has a wife now. But we
Hey, I didn't do anything.
we woke up in
She doesn't
this.
care what you do.
We woke up in this house that was not the house we were staying in on Yorks. I walk out into the main living area of this house. He's asleep on the couch with. Remember, this is going back years now when everybody used to wear their old school shoes out. Like you used to wear your black. You'd wear your black
Oh, yeah.
Because there's any way you get in.
Yeah, remember? Yeah,
I mean, going out shoes.
back in the good old days. And I was just
Especially when you
rolling.
have a mullet, man. You got to at least have good shoes. You're not getting in that nightclub.
We're in this wicked house on the edge of the cliffs by Wallaroo there. It's like a turret. It's like a castle turret thing. He's asleep on the couch. And I'm like, I should probably take him with me. I'm like, hey, man, give him a nudge. And he's like, we going? I'm like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. And yeah, we rang someone to come and pick us up. And we were best friends ever
The rest
since.
was history.
It sounds cute.
Yeah,
It was before Tinder. You had to kind of do it the old-fashioned way back then.
Then we
This is
punched
real
each other
life.
in the
And to get your friends lucky outside.
So he gets into fighting. It's very cute.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of brain cells to Matt.
So fighting wise, were you into fighting pre this?
Yeah, we both.
Were.
We'd both done martial arts separately.
Okay.
Well, I was doing something different.
Yeah, real different. Effective.
So you fight against each other?
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu guys are always wanting to grapple.
Russell. Yeah, you got to watch out for them sometimes.
My mate, the same. He all the time. Always wants to wrestle. Little skinny run. But he can definitely. I don't know. He's got a belt.
Do you play any sport? Anything you could say? You know what? Like I can dunk a basketball.
I used to play football. A mountain bike.
So
I drive cars.
Yeah.
If you're at a mate's place and you know he's shit at footy, wouldn't you want to play footy with him?
Okay.
That's why everyone's trying to wrestle you.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know what you're doing? Great, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what my mate's like.
Yeah, I'll give you an introductory lesson.
Yeah, that's what it's like. And I hate being choked around the neck. I fucking hate it. Like,
You just don't let him do it.
especially when it comes when you're pushing down. It's just it's something that's not me. But I'm happy to pay and watch someone do it.
Yeah.
But it is a crazy sport.
Go home alone defense next time. Or
What's Home Alone
go
defense?
home, I'll give you X-Men defense.
Yeah.
So next time you're trying to choke, both hands here. Chin down, both hands here. He's gonna immediately move your hand and do something else, but you're gonna have
Well, it
step
depends.
one.
Depends what belt he's got.
Well,
He might not
he's
know
got
past that
something.
thing.
He's
Well, I give everyone a belt on the first day, so he's got to have one belt.
we were at his wife's 40th, and he wanted to wrestle then. And
He's trying to impress the wife. It was
Yeah.
her 40th.
No, and I said,
give her a second birthday
I said,
present.
Jace, stop it. I said, fucking stop it. And and then I went boom and pushed him back, and he hit the deck.
Oh, really?
And he knew not to fuck with me that night.
Because normally we start on the ground already.
Yeah.
No, he always starts off the ground.
Yeah.
Always wanting to.
Well, you've got to practice real life situations. I'm sitting down, someone walks up towards me and starts starting to fight a fight. What are you going to do? I'm not going to waste energy standing up. I'm already down here. You come down here.
Oh dear. So if we I've got James as the general troublemaker, the GTM.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
I'm the chief mischief maker.
Yeah, the CM.
We interchange them from
We
time
have
to time.
changed them back and forth quite a few times.
Okay, is that a good cop, bad cop?
More just something silly to see who actually notices. Like, email signatures was one of those ones where, you get emails from people and they've got like their name, then their qualification, then like 46 degrees and shit.
Chief
like,
operating officer
all
of the
this
city
like
wall.
bullshit. And I was just like, it'd be funny if I just put, manager of the mischief department and you were the general troublemaker. And one in every 30 people will mention it. Like VisiBoard the other day, the guy rang me up to do something. He's like, is that the general troublemaker? And I'm just like, hey Joe, how you going? He's like, you still haven't changed it. I'm like, I'm never going to change it. And he's like, oh, okay, but he thinks it's great.
Oh, it was the only hindrance was when we were starting out. Like now we're established. Why am I gonna change it now? But yeah, when you're a new business that no one knows and you've got a stupid bloody email signature, it's real hard to get people to email you back.
And that's amazing how people look at that shit.
Yeah.
So is your nickname Jimmy Bang Bang?
Yes.
Is there something that you can tell us about that?
He got dubbed that on one of our podcasts actually by a good friend, Tiny Sumo.
Yeah, one of our mates. I can't remember why he called me
I can
that.
tell you why.
Okay.
I can tell you
I
right.
got Tiny Sumo. Well, he does a podcast, or
He did.
He did. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's a friend of ours. He also into martial arts. But
So Tiny Sumo, I'm assuming he's not small.
he's about 92.5 kilos now. So
Yeah.
He's not.
But he's not big.
He's not sumo style. It was not supposed to be tongue in cheek. It was supposed to be that he was a small sumo. Do you want to make that a double?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Prepare for trouble.
So the reason for Jimmy Bang Bang. So you're a Simpsons fan.
I haven't watched the Simpsons episode for like 10 years ago.
Old episodes are the best.
Yeah, so I can't remember them. Are they still making new episodes?
I think so, but no one watches.
It's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
No idea.
I'll soon find out.
This is what we need.
Yeah, can we do our podcast here? Got like a whole team. Got people.
We only have like
shit.
5 minutes of like broken silence. We're both on our phones. Then
I'm intrigued as to what you're doing. You're just sitting quietly, like waiting.
So
Just
this
waiting.
is his first day.
Oh wow! Welcome.
Yeah, and I said no man buns.
Oh, okay. What's that? Is that a man bun or is it a?
Yeah,
it was a lot longer.
yeah, he's trimmed it. He said I've trimmed it.
Just
said,
go
mate.
straight down into a mullet.
No man buns, bro. No man buns.
No time. Sorry, I hijacked the conversation again.
So
The
there's
Simpsons is still going, and they're probably up to season
4,000.
Well, fuck. I reckon
100 and
I was in my 30s. I was in my 20s. I would have been in my 20s watching Simpsons, and that's 20 years ago. 32 seasons.
Yeah.
Is that all? I thought it was high. I would have thought it
I
was
think
higher.
they're long episodes. There
Well,
might
that
be
makes sense.
50
That
episodes in
makes
a
sense. I
season.
watched it for 10 years, and it's probably 20 years. Yeah, that's crazy. So,
What was the question? Oh, have you
no,
watched
we're
the
just
old
talking about your nickname.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ah,
I still
so
don't
there's-
really understand.
There's
where
an
it came
episode where they go into the future,
Yep.
and Bart is an alcoholic, shitty stripper,
from.
and he comes on the stage, and he's called Bang Bang Bart.
Is
So-
that the episode? Is that dead set it?
Yeah, he comes out. See if we can get a photo. He comes out in some kind of cowboy outfit with his guns, passes out on stage, and falls in the middle. And that's what we decided. That's what me and Dylan decided, that you were a 12 o'clock Wednesday afternoon stripper that day.
Can we have a look at Bang Bang Bar?
I think we need to see Bang
Simpsons?
Bang Bart.
Yeah, wow.
I reckon that's
didn't
pretty
know
cool.
that. I wasn't
Well,
aware of
that's
that.
where your nickname comes from.
And then, because he started calling me it all the time, and then other people started calling me it, and then one day I was over at Matt's doing something, and his wife's like, "When are you going to change your Instagram name to Jimmy Bang Bang?" Yeah,
Bang Bang Bar.
Bang Bang
Let's
Bar.
I
So there you
reckon
go.
you rocked up and you were already drunk for that podcast.
Probably.
This was pre-baby, pre-marriage. So this would have been one of the original podcasts.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
Pre-baby. So, pre-baby.
I got 1.5.
Don't ask.
One in the oven.
Yeah, 6 months, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, girl.
I got a little girl and a little boy on the way.
Okay.
Starting a pro fighting team.
Yeah. Yeah, well, a good time to do it. So, okay, so we've got enough of that bang bang. So,
And I learned
how
something.
many bottles are you producing as a guess?
This is the
And it's
production, man.
when you do...
Oh yeah, try it and smash it down as hard as I can.
Yeah,
So I told you I'd make
an
noise.
observation. I thought I'd mention halfway through, so we try and get the last top. We would have lost everyone by now, for sure, for sure.
If you're still listening, please send an email to James at Dirty Clean Eats with your feedback.
We'd be into the thousands now, but it varies. COVID sort of
Was it good or bad for you guys? Because
Depends on which business you're asking about.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm talking about the Dirty Clean.
dirty. It was a bit of a like we were ready to launch and ready to ramp up, and everything went. But at the end of the day, having a business that made a turmeric health tonic in a global pandemic wasn't it wasn't the worst product to have. If we had hand sanitizer, we'd probably be telling a different story. But
Didn't hurt. I think Prime Minister, President, whatever they have, of Indonesia said Jamu cures COVID pretty much first week.
which I wanted to advertise, and Matt told me we weren't allowed to.
I felt very uncomfortable advertising
You should have been
a health product that was going to fix COVID. So I saw a lot of, I don't know, I think a lot of companies did a really good job over that period of time, and a lot of companies showed that they are just a corporate machine. They didn't show much heart.
Yeah.
I think that was very apparent from what I was seeing by the advertising and whatnot. And there was, I'd rather have a company that makes no money and have my morals than kind of steer into it as hard as some of the ones.
Was it
were.
Lorna Jane that got in trouble for bringing out like COVID repellent? They got sued for bringing
Magic
out
underwear.
COVID repellent leggings, and they were you can't do that.
We did an article on it. Yeah, it's a true story.
It the whole thing brought out a lot of people. Like it was
Just showed people's true
You
colours.
had your run.
Yeah.
Like it was a clusterfuck dealing with shopping centres for a period there, because you guys were getting slammed with with some products you couldn't get them on the shelves fast enough, and then other ones people were buying and hoarding, and it was obviously because we're direct, so I deal with all of the Drake stores direct, and some of the stories the staff would tell, like some of the again it was mind-boggling, some of the stuff that was said to them and done to them through that period. So it was a weird year.
It was pretty full on.
Yeah.
On multiple levels for us.
Yeah.
And, I think most people saw that some of the things we talked about. The original customers panicking, coming in, like just abusing people over no toilet paper.
Yeah.
Just get a bum sprayer.
They're listening.
I don't understand these people.
Yeah. Bidet. Well, I went and bought one.
Of the day.
Yeah.
He's got.
Yeah,
he's
what's it?
ever since we went to
Best-
Bali, he's
best-
bought him.
best-
Would you, hey, if you got a bit
Best
of
thing
chocolate
on
on
the-
your face, would you wipe it off with a napkin or would you get a bit of water?
Or both. Yeah. That was exactly how it was sold to me. You've got a bit of chocolate on your face. How are you going to get it
What's
off?
the best? A seat does everything. Warms, heats.
Yeah, I find they're
heats,
too messy.
hot. Messy?
You spray and it's like, whoosh, like you got
Which way are you facing?
forwards.
You're not standing up and wiping it.
you stand on the toilet.
Come and show.
mate.
We've got a
Yeah,
camera. Okay, show me.
no,
Wrong
this will-
country.
This will end in tears.
Don't you see these
did you dislocate your knee?
these toilet signs saying don't step on the seats?
Yeah. Oh, is that what they're for?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But they're good. It's got a blue light in the middle of the night. I can see my piss. It's black. I clearly know where it's going. It's going in the toilet.
So that just seems like I'm going to have to come up with excuses for pissing on the floor then.
Yeah.
If I've got a laser targeting system and I still piss on the floor, that's just laziness.
Yeah, I can,
It's totally lazy. So
My toes were cold.
we talk about famous fighting people,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that's probably brought the whole mixed martial arts to the scene is probably Dana White. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Dana White? I mean, he's a bit clever. Like, right place, right time, got money.
I think there's a fine line between genius and madness.
Oh, and I think he's done pretty well for himself, I think.
Well, I think talking to what we've spoken about, like, I don't know the dude well enough.
Yeah,
but,
I
like,
don't know. I only see what you see publicly.
But-
I thought you were going to say Conor McGregor, so I'm already out.
Yeah. So if there's one thing you can say about that guy, he's authentic.
Yeah.
You're not going to see. Like, I don't know anything about AFL. Who's the president of AFL? Anyway, you're not going to see that dude come out and go, Nathan Buckley's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to tell you what he really thinks. He's going to give you the prepared corporate statement.
Yeah.
Whereas
Dana.
authenticity comes shining through. Maybe that's the Vegas gambling mafia money behind it or what. But
but
it's
still
run a different way.
Well, let's go pre UFC. I remember watching it. Pride.
yeah,
right.
That was definitely run
Right,
by.
right, and Pride's like, never forget the footage of the dude half down, sumo dude gets kicked and you see his teeth coming out.
Ugh.
And then, but to step up and actually try and legitimize it, and UFC during COVID, probably one of the only events to be able to get going in a different country, but
Yeah.
definitely
On an island.
Yeah, on an island,
Got
but
it done.
hey,
Yeah.
definitely worked, got it done, and continued to have fights and continued to do pay-per-view and probably all making a shitload of money at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, the one on the weekend was a local company, Diamondback FC. I don't know which thing they would like us to promote, Apex Sports Fest. But Craig Ike, who runs that or heads that up, like they put on a show at Nord Oval recently. Like the hoops they
This
would have had to
weekend,
jump.
yeah.
And like there was so many things going on with COVID and everything. I'm like, there's no possible way.
This
You know,
ends.
I wish you the best, but there's no way that this isn't going to be a giant headache for you on the day. And he,
Got it
whether
done.
it was a headache or not, he pulled that off.
I
with
think it was
flying-
it was a headache.
Oh, I'm sure there's always a headache. But he
Yeah.
pulled that off with flying colours. I couldn't believe how
It
like-
pretty much almost ran on time,
like
which is unheard of for any
nothing went wrong. He was
Yeah.
he was running, like, to give you a perspective. Normally, different martial arts are run as separate events.
Okay.
So you have like football, rugby, tennis, 10-pin bowling, for example,
So again, fine line between genius and madness. Decides he's going to do them all on the day.
on Nord
Same
Oval.
day on Nord Oval. Never run an event outside before. Never run half of the events
That he was-
individually, let alone
So-
all to one, and
so-
pulled it off.
So what they played? They had some.
They had a
mixed martial art.
boxing ring. They had a cage for the MMA. They had the national arm wrestling team. They had a BJJ marquee. They had a wrestling marquee. They had a medieval sword fighting club. And honestly, everyone laughed. Did you
Nah.
come? Oh, you were watching the BJJ.
I've seen it before.
These guys, right? I was watching them there. I was watching the arm wrestling dudes, and that attracted a very interesting cross section of people. These guys over in the medieval section were like they had a legit witch. They had a woman that was like dressed
What's
as a
this
witch.
called?
Medieval sword fighting. I don't know.
No, there's two types.
Yeah, well, these guys were these guys were putting on these big like suits of armor, proper chainmail and everything, and they had these big blunted axes and swords, and then they locked them in a cage not much bigger than this room, and it was 2-on-2, and they just go fucking hammer and tongs. I was like, oh yeah, medieval guys, that'll be
Yeah.
interesting. And then I
That's
heard
not
all
what
of
you
this.
think.
I heard all this like yelling and commotion, and I've looked over, and these dudes are just like swinging for the fences, like proper. Google like medieval sword fighting.
So it's real.
Yeah.
They get the armor on, they get the gear on,
And then they beat the shit out of
blunt
each
the
other.
axe slightly. So they're trying to knock each other out instead of cut each other open. But yeah,
So where did the football part come into it?
There was no football.
Oh, I thought you were saying they're playing football.
they saw
as
those
well.
dudes with the axe. They fucking well off. They're like, we're not doing this, man.
So piecing it all together on the one show, and was it successful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. It went till midnight.
Nothing visibly from the outside went wrong. That's I assumed one of the things at least was going to be a fuck up.
Yeah.
Because it's just too much going on. Like if you're doing 10 things and one goes wrong, that's a good day.
Yeah.
All 10 happened.
Wow, it sounds interesting. What's the business's name?
Diamondback Sports Fest.
TFC,
They were purged in the Great Facebook Purge, so their page might not be back.
I can send you his details.
Facebook
He would be a good person to talk to. Actually, he's a real exciting guy. Got a lot going on.
The Facebook purge. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Still not back on, but I like.
Well, as long as you like getting your
I've-
news from the Batuta Advocate, you're all good.
I've got these medieval helmets.
Yeah.
got
Go
access?
on. Have you got
I've got two willing participants right here, a referee.
I've got it's like gladiator style. Like they're proper. They're not original. Like I didn't
probably
get them from
broken.
mine.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of anything worse than being hit with that thing on my head.
Yeah.
Like it has to have something in it. No, it has to.
It's got padding.
They put like
Yeah,
a cloth and shit on their head first, I'm pretty sure. And you have chainmail.
Not enough. Yeah.
No,
All the
what?
protection is to stop you getting
It
cut.
is bad. Like it's you've seen them. They're good. They're ridgy-dig. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's no
Are they
way.
here?
Yeah, they are here. Yeah,
Well, I think.
We probably need to get one.
yeah, they're there. It would mean getting on the bike and going over there, but I'll get it before the day's done. Before the day's
Man,
done.
if I was wandering around here and I had access to a medieval helmet, it wouldn't come off.
Just walking around. Hear ye, hear ye. Matthew has entered the room. You should just get someone to walk around behind you, like being a town caller.
JP is here!
Announcing you as you walk into rooms. Hear ye, hear ye.
I should do that. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Sorry, guys.
Imagine we rock up
Can you put
somewhere.
it on the internet?
I did watch I watched Tom Hanks' latest movie on Netflix where he goes into towns telling the news of, because they didn't have any, like this is back in the
They didn't have
1700s.
Before Facebook.
Before Wi-Fi.
Way before Facebook.
Or after Facebook purge all the news and shit. You decide.
Well,
is it in the
this is
future? or the
This is
past?
before anything. I wish I got the name of it, but he would rock up with all the different articles from the different states that he's gone round by on horse, and then set up in a town centre and go through the news, and he would pick and choose.
I say you definitely wouldn't manipulate that.
Yeah.
So, well, he
Tom Hanks voted most handsome man.
In all the lands.
Definitely sleep with Tom Hanks.
he didn't do that.
Well,
But
Okay, all right, you better move you right now.
oh shit!
And
So-
we're back to orgies.
But it was
Utopia.
interesting to watch because that's what happened, huh? So you just assume that of the things we see now, like he was just a walking China, and he
So
could
walking China. Wow.
and he could tell whatever he wanted. The News of the World is the movie. It's on Netflix. It's actually it's not my
Watch out for that.
It's not my style of movie normally, but it was interesting to see. Oh, hang on, that's how it's
No
done.
one
So-
took their clothes off.
no, no, there wasn't any of that. But when he went to the different places, that you could see the towns that were a little bit corrupt, controlling the narrative. We want you to talk about this, so it shows exactly what happens now. It's
Yeah.
no different than what happens now. That was the part.
Human nature is human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What mechanism you use to manipulate it is
Correct,
up to
and
you.
this movie really showed that this person had the control, and that was a fascinating part.
The
about
scary
it.
thing is how many people still don't realise it. I find.
Oh, have you watched The Social Dilemma?
Yes.
Nah, it scares me too much. I don't want to watch it.
To me, I don't know. That's
you
a
watched
pretty
Black
good
Mirror?
one. I made everyone watch that.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
Yeah, of course.
He stopped watching it because he got too worried about fucking machines taking over.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that the ones that really got to me were the ones where they're not that far fetched
Yeah,
either.
well, all
They're all not that far fetched.
No, the one where the Prime Minister. Yeah, anyway,
That's not that far fetched.
the one where they've all got the eyes that record everything, and then the dude like freaks out because he realizes his wife's like cheating on him with his mate through like watching back old footage, and it's like we're not that far away from them saying like, oh yeah, great, guess what, your phone's implanted in your brain now.
Have you heard of Neuralink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently testing and working. Oh, but we're just using it to help people learn to walk again.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
have you seen they said they did a live typical way, like he did a live
With the pigs?
Yeah, with the pigs.
Yeah. That pig didn't look very happy, did he?
Well, how does a fucking pig look?
Not
James?
happy.
Nah, he's a turkey. Don't you know what the fucking turkeys look like? But Black Mirror, have you played the Netflix one where you choose your own endings?
I gave that a go. I got a little bit. I'm like, this is too
Yeah,
much.
that was the like that. They were the longer ones, weren't they?
Yeah,
I reckon
there's one, but there's kids on the kids channel. There's multiple. Like they've got a Bear Grylls one where he comes in and goes, "Okay, kids, I'm here. I'm gonna walk up the stream. What do you want me to sit there?" And
I've seen them.
and the kids
choose your own adventure
and the kids
type shit.
choose where they want to go, and
Yeah.
it goes that way.
Yeah, but do you remember?
I don't like it.
Do you remember Goosebumps? Goosebumps used to have choose your own ending.
Yeah, that was
books.
a book.
That's a book.
That's good stuff in a book, not on the bloody screen.
Get used to
Who's
it.
writing them screens, man? This book is written by a bloody American, all right? American heroes.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. He finished banging the girls in the town, wrote his book, turned to page 53, America.
For those of you playing along at home, the second beer just hit Matt.
Yep, and for those kids that have got him training tonight, he'll be fine.
No, it's adults tonight.
He'll be
You're
ready.
right.
It's adults and that's all right.
So I don't want to bring it to fighting, but I'm curious. Who do you think's the best fighter? You're probably going to say George GSP, or who do you think's the best mixed martial arts fighter at the moment? Not at the moment, like in your eyes, and it doesn't have to be because they're the best, just because you like what you got synergies with their style. Or who do you think has been the best fighting person on the planet? Like, I just wish there was more stuff with things like Bruce Lee. Like I was like watching the Enter the Dragon and Game of Death, and brought Hollywood into movies of to me that was very special. And unfortunately we'll never see. Well, we might see that again. I don't know. I'm a bit off the boil, but what Conor McGregor's done for the sport, pretty amazing. Like whether you like him or not,
I love it.
It's amazing, Mayweather, but unfortunately it gives this image of everyone in that fighting and boxing has to be a mouthy fucker.
Well, it's modeled on pro wrestling. So that's the model that
You got to sell tickets, man.
Yeah,
Picks,
I get that.
'cause it makes money.
And Muhammad Ali was no different. Like the things he said were
Them fighting's words.
What did I ring you the other day and ask you about Muhammad Ali? I was like, what was it? When you just go off on a random tangent, I rang Matt one day. I'm like, do you reckon? That's right, because I was watching all these old videos of him teasing his opponents in the street, and
Do you know the one where he rocked up at the dude's house?
who?
No, Muhammad Ali.
I'm pretty sure it was Muhammad Ali. He was rocking. It was one of the guys who was fighting. He kept rocking up his house like 4 o'clock in the morning because he decided that if the other dude thinks I'm crazy, he's going to fight worse. So he'd go to the dude's house at 4 o'clock in the morning with a megaphone, and just yell random, not even aggressive, just yell random shit out. Just yell weird shit out.
That's
He
weird
was
'cause
so great.
I went to the Muhammad Ali Museum or something, and so in part of the tour you go to his house, and it's like a pink house, and they show you through, and it was all about education and sticking up for yourself, having your rights, and it was really amazing to see. And they showed so much footage that I hadn't seen before about how the blacks and the white, how he went into, he talks about the story, comes in, you're not welcome here. And he goes, I've done everything with this country, came home with a silver medal. And that's evidently why he ditched his silver medal into the Mississippi, I reckon it was. And it shows that. And it's like really impressive centre. Like it's worth thinking, but you haven't given me an answer.
I'll give you an answer. that I give my students sometimes when they ask me stuff. Partially because my coach told it to me and it really pissed me off.
Whoa, fuck me swinging. Whoa, it's a boy.
Fuck, that's they're lucky.
Send the bill to
James at
Dirty Clean Eats.
Hey, don't get my email out, mate. That's not the joke.
How will they ever work it out? Sorry. This is what he does at the gym. Distraction. Best fighter.
Well, I'm go back to my
Fucking
four
hell.
bonus.
Is it that hard? We can move on.
Politics.
So it depends. Depends on the era. Depends on the weight class. Depends on what style.
This is the
Mine's
same
easy.
shit I hit from
Mine's
all my
easy. It's
mates
Conor
as
McGregor.
well that are into fighting. That same answer. Just give me an answer, for God's sake. All right.
I can tell you my favourite is.
Yeah.
Well, that... wouldn't mind that.
Well, just
Why
ask.
didn't you just
mate.
ask?
You just clearly ask me a question. I won't go off on a tangent. GSP's my favourite.
That's hilarious. So I got a good GSP story.
Yeah.
My old trainer in Queensland, Nicky, if he's listening, he's probably not.
Nicky St. Pierre.
No.
So it's not his brother.
And he was training to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Skinny guy, good reach.
That's what you want.
Yeah. And his favourite guy is GSP. And we went to watch his first fight. And he didn't get knocked out, but no, it wasn't a knockout. It was like, definitely didn't win. Like, it was a clear, he's a fit dude, but just ran out of gas. And the place in Queensland was humid. It was sticky. And like, I don't think he was prepared for that. And I know he's super fit, but I don't think he was prepared. But we bought him a GSP thing as an option there. And that was you keep fighting, fucking this, yeah.
But GSP got his powers from the
quit.
aliens.
Yeah, he quit.
That's what helps. You get GSP a few beers into him, asking about the old aliens.
Well, is it GSP that you tell the story about who met his school bully? Yeah, I really like that story about him. I hope it's true. Have you heard it?
No.
Like most people, he got into fighting because he was bullied as a kid.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think it's not my story. So I might, again, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. I might embellish it. But I reckon he ran into, like, he was the champion of the world. And he ran into this guy. This guy was the bully from his high school, as often was homeless on the side of the road.
Yep.
And it was really interesting because, again, he was honest. He was talking about how to start with, as reached the pinnacle, is the unarguable best fighter in the world at the time, was going to get out and beat the shit out of a homeless man because he picked on him in high school. And then he went through the emotions and rationally thought about it. And I think in the end, he ended up having a chat to the dude and helping him.
Yeah, to give him some money and took some photos.
Better himself.
Yeah.
Posted on Instagram, got more followers. Yeah.
Well, even if he did.
Why was that camera there while you were handing out donations?
Yeah. But yeah, I just liked that story. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I liked that story.
Quick, go to it. Sorry, sir. Can you please give me back that ham sandwich? The camera wasn't on.
I mean, it's interesting to say because that's what you do. The Gracies have come here quite a bit. Have you done any training sessions with them?
Not with any of the Gracies directly, no.
Well, they look like you. Watching some of their old footage when...
The old Gracie challenge?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into... It sounds like I'm really into fighting. But I'm very curious to see how things play out. And... They were definitely grapplers. Are they like the innovators at grappler? They brought it to light more than anyone else.
So they have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which is the main style.
Oh, okay. I thought it was all Brazilian. So they're different styles.
It's complicated,
Yeah.
and I'm not a
expert.
I'm not a lineage geek. Like, I'm really bad. I like doing things.
Yep.
As you might have got from a couple of my stories, I'm not the best at kind of the paying attention to the
Details.
facts and the details side of it.
So on that, who's the big picture person and who's the detailed person?
Oh, that's the problem. We're both kind of big picture.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say you're the details one.
Well, that's what I would have picked up, but you can't both be big picture guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I've forced myself. So my natural inclination is to be up here. Like, I work best with somebody else doing all the work. Might be some people in this room.
Oh, I don't know how that works.
If I've got a team around me, I can do great things. But me by myself, pretty useless.
And I really like doing shit, so it works well. It complements each other quite well until we have arguments, and then
We wear a lot of hats and switch them back and forth a lot of the time.
Any of you guys seen a UFO?
nope.
Ooh. Saw a ghost.
Yeah. I
Really?
think that's quite common. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ghost either.
Yeah. I've definitely seen multiple ghosts.
We
Where did you see a what's the best ghost story you got?
Okay. Well, I got a good UFO story.
Oh, well, let's give us the UFO story then.
Nah, I say it too often, don't I? It always comes up. I don't talk about this.
It always comes up. So, want to see a dead body? I've seen a dead body. He just asked.
I just asked. I was at my auntie's place, and it's at Corny Point, same place. And I was in. So we had two. So we had sister and my sister was there and me in the room, and I thought I felt something, like I don't know. It's like, you know, when someone walks on your grave, that terminology.
Yeah.
Someone's there, and I've looked and I've seen, and you're going to think it's a bit crazy. It's just white outline, no definition of male.
Is this the ghost story?
Is this the ghost or the UFO?
No, it's a ghost story.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were doing the alien story.
No, well,
Carry on.
Sorry, don't let me interrupt your story. I would never do that.
so I was like, oh, and I saw something, and it did scare me, but that was it. I reckon I've had multiple sightings of things that I can't quite explain without being on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sober sightings, we call them. SSs.
Oh, fuck. We did a podcast with some guys in America. What were they
No,
called?
they were South Australian.
They were in Port Elliot or Goolwa. What were they called?
All that's going on in my head is Pussy Patrol, and that wasn't it.
They were ghost hunters. They were like supernatural hunters, and you could ring them. Like if you thought you had ghosts, you can ring. Fuck, what were they called?
Because the
now all I can
acronym
think
of their name was
slut or no was
yeah. I thought they were taking the piss.
it was
and they weren't.
So
SWAT. No, super.
give me this. Come on, guys. What you podcast them out.
I
I'd
literally,
love to
as
know
you
this.
said it then, I just remembered, and they came on, and we were like, "Oh yeah, it'll be a bit of fun." I think they approached us, and what similar?
No, I approached them.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was it? Supernatural.
Well, I believe it.
It was the best name. It was the best name.
It was
so
like a
memorable.
4-letter acronym that I cannot remember for the
believe it.
life of me. And they literally, you can ring them up, and they will come out with all of their gizmos and cameras and stuff, and like help you get rid of spirits in your
Like a modern day Ghostbuster.
literally, which is why Matt approached them to do a podcast.
I
together.
like talking to interesting people.
Yeah,
And how did it go?
weird.
I thought they would be a little bit more tongue in cheek. They were legit. They were serious.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. It just wasn't what I expected.
So they were dead set.
I'm dead set serious.
So was that before, because we went to the end, like I was laughing when you said about seeing ghosts and stuff as well, because we had a market. This is this is a couple of years. This is real early days.
She was very concerned about me.
And we used to go, Spice Girls used to do a lot of markets, and we used to tag along and try and sell Jamu while we were
So
there.
just so everyone realizes that he's not talking about Spice
Not the
Girls.
band, yeah.
Like, stop right now.
Before they were
Thank you
famous, they
very
were just writing these songs back in the van, stars in their eyes, trying to make it in the world in little old Adelaide. They put on those posh English accents.
Hoity-toity. But yeah, we went to a market, like some festival for all supernatural stuff in Adelaide at the convention centre, and we went and like watched this seminar, and because she was talking about how there's not enough souls left, right?
Oh,
like
because it didn't logically make sense.
There wasn't enough human souls left, and there are children being born without souls now because there is a finite amount of souls
to be passed
on to the babies. And at the end of, when they get to the end, they're like, has anyone got any questions? And it was like, everyone's just like, oh, please nobody have questions so we can leave. This guy, he's like, so tell me more about the souls, because I got a baby coming and I'm worried about this. And she did a full, she felt out his aura. There's holes in his aura. She wanted to heal him. She was really worried. She a year later contacted my mum to ask her to talk to me to make sure he was okay and ask about his baby, because she was worried about the boy that had a missing bit of his aura. So she really did care. But
So what you're saying is she could tell something was broken.
No shit. So what
there you
made you go to that?
There was just
We
a
were
mark.
try-
Yeah, we were
we-
trying to hustle
We're
turmeric
selling
juice.
stuff. Yeah.
Hey, you want to buy some health tonic? This was when we only had the concentrate.
So this is not snake oil. So
No,
let's be clear
I don't have a
on that.
moustache or a top hat.
Who here? Who? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, it's good though. Do you think we're the only ones in this universe?
What define universe?
Well, not just the planet and our
But like
9.
physical plane or spiritual plane?
Both.
I think
Both. I mean,
there's-
spiritual. There's got to be 4 dimensions.
I believe something's going on.
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Whether,
some
whether
sort of
we're in the
energy.
Matrix, whether there's the traditional views, whether it's a cosmic, something's happening. Something's happening.
Yeah, we can't be. There's too much coincidence. There's too many things happen coincidentally for no reason. And you'll tell me, like, well, especially for me, you'll tell me it's because I like let things happen. Like I put myself in situations where shit can happen, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, I'm surprised that happened. But yeah, too much.
Why am I naked?
Yeah, not again.
So is the ghost hunters you're talking about called the pimps?
Yes, yes, the paranormal
Oh, we need
investigator.
people to help us.
Paranormal What is it? Paranormal someone.
Mobile patrol.
Paranormal Investigative Mobile Squad. Like,
They were
so it's not who you're going to call. Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call?
You like how
Pimps.
you know how I went to slut? It was like it was an acronym. Like I got there, you know.
That is so right.
Look, what can I say?
damn,
My
that
brain
is-
works in mysterious ways.
That is funny. But something's going on, and I heard I think it was a Joe Rogan one actually talking about 4 dimension, and this guy he was speaking to was like fully explaining, yeah, you see all that, but maybe it's in 4th dimension. That's why you can't see it. And I was like, whoa, I hadn't actually thought of that.
If you like that stuff, listen to Aubrey Marcus's mushroom trip story. So he meets the devil.
Okay,
It was very like
This will be interesting.
you know that feeling you have when you watch the Black Mirror or maybe Utopia when you're like, I want to find out more, but I'm a little bit
Scared.
apprehensive.
I have that feeling all the time.
Yeah. Life.
Yeah.
No, listen to that story. It's a very good story. I won't do it justice.
Okay.
It's not my story.
I'll do myself. Was any mushrooms taken?
I know he was high as a kite. Like I think it might have been DMT. Like he was
Yeah.
like he built himself a bridge to that other dimension.
Yeah.
But like the way he described it and the metaphors behind everything that was going on and the emotion in his voice is very whether it was true or not. It's a very compelling story.
Because
Very
it does pose the question: I don't know this answer, but has any UFO footage been taken on an iPhone 10 or plus?
Nah, unfortunately, our UFOs only come around if you've got an old camera. They don't like this new technology.
Like that's all I want to see. Like I just
They're an advanced technology. They know how to turn an iPhone off.
what did you watch the Lex Friedman or the Colin or the
Colonel dude.
yeah
Tic Tac stuff.
Colin Faber.
I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't seen it. I've listened to that guy on a podcast, but not on the Lex Friedman
Okay.
one.
The Lex Freeman one, he goes a lot more in depth about the technical side, which of avionics and aviation, but what they're captured things on is the most state of the art equipment this planet has to offer. Have you seen the footage?
No.
It is mind blowing footage. I don't care what if you're a believer or not. When you see this footage and know that it got released, 3 pieces of footage got released during the middle of COVID.
Do you think it's aliens or do you think it's a little bit of a coincidence that this state-of-the-art technology that we've never seen before happens to be around where the bases are, where they're working on
no
new
coincidence.
technology? You don't think it's man-made?
No, it could 100% could be man-made. Yeah, no doubt.
Because I think they had that problem with the stealth bomber when they were first doing the tests of the stealth bomber. Because they're obviously not going to release, hey, we're working on this.
Hey everyone, guess what? Top secret.
Yeah.
Don't look up.
Government's definitely going to release that we're working on this new state-of-the-art technology. So that's one of the prevalent theories is that it's just new shit they're working on.
I think when you watch it and you hear his story is like, he's no I'll put money on the bloke's probably never had any drugs. He probably hardly drinks. So he's probably an alcoholic now. But the way that he describes it in extreme detail, and actually when he's called it through, they're like, yeah, we've been seeing it all week. That's good that you saw it. But what when he talks about it, and if anyone hasn't had it, you should. I mean, Lex Friedman does an amazing effort. Joe Rogan does he's pretty good at talking to people. But
Taught him everything he knows.
yeah. But when he talks to him about it, he just talks, this is what happened. We went back, we told our story, and they said, all right, well, don't say anything. So they didn't, as they should. It's their job. But he then goes into explain that it fully blocked all radar equipment, which is technically an act of war, but fully blocked all radar equipment, hung around with them, went from like 1 foot off the water to 60,000 feet in a second. And then when they went away from where they could see this, it was exactly at their intended flight path that we're on, just sitting there again. So
Fucking with them.
yeah, totally.
Like, I own you. If that's not a power move,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
And he talked about, he goes, no one knew that that's where we were meant to be. And this thing's just sitting there waiting when they got there. And they're like, whoa.
Or he had a little scratch on his glasses.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Oh my God.
It does make you want, like, you think about it as like us as infant children, as humans, and like we look at little kids and we're like, stupid kid. Like, I'll watch your daughter like go up to a stair gate and be like, idiot, can't get through the stair gate. Like, you wonder whether it's the same, like whether we've slowly got to the point
I have that feeling
where
with most
now the
people,
aliens
to
are
be
just
honest.
like fucking idiots. You're still using jet fuel to get around. Like, we can teleport places. Like,
Well, he said no propulsion, no heats, no heat, no nothing. Just the tic tac. And they got this, the footage of it is amazing. Like, whatever it is, it's something.
Yeah.
But
The bit that worries me the most is that there's never been a recorded instance of a superior technology meeting a primitive technology.
and it not
and
fucking
it not
wiping
gone bad
everything.
for them.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So
do you think they just look and go, fuck, what are these earthlings doing?
Yeah, what's taking
And
them
just,
so long?
like, you know, could
they
Elon...
haven't figured out to drink Jamu yet. We've been giving them the turmeric, and they're bloody not drinking it. What are we doing?
Oh, we're not lizard people.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. So, other than peddling your juice, your drink, what excites you?
Have you seen this movie
James?
Utopia? And they have orgies.
So we're angling for an invite to the Drake's Christmas party next year. We have heard good things.
Oh, shit. What excites? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a mixed bag. I like doing all sorts of random shit. So, I've, like, martial arts, sports. I play footy. I like gardening, cooking. Just like I car racing. I've watched a fair bit of the stuff you have put on online. I used to do hill climbs in a previous life. So yeah, I sort of dabble in a lot of random shit, as opposed to being like, I feel like, well, you've got other interests you really like honed in on. I like this aspect of my sport, and you go hard at it. Whereas I'll go and do some.
You're a free spirit.
Yeah, I'll go and do some compound bow shooting. I'll go and just like do, like, people will say, hey, you want to come do this? I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go give that a go. So just
Are you single?
random shit. No,
No. Okay.
spoken for.
Proposition right there, I think.
Oh, wow.
This is how they used to do it before Tinder again. You slap it in a
This is how
conversation.
we met.
It's just a little bit more direct.
Hey, you want fuck?
A lot of eye contact.
Yeah, that
A little bit of evolutioning.
well,
of
they
the
do
tie.
that now. It's just a bit digital now.
Tell me more.
I hear I was watching something today. I hear young blokes having a bit of trouble.
With what?
What?
Women.
Really?
Yeah.
Because if you're 18, you live at home with mum.
Yeah.
I want a PA.
Well,
I want a PA.
hey. These guys, they're both young. They live at
Yeah,
home.
how, what are we talking? We talking?
18,
How do you
19.
go? How do you go?
1920.
No, oh Jesus!
I'm going to say
all
my
right.
theory, and then we're going to quiz them on the
Yeah.
after. Right?
Oh yeah.
So you got them Tinders and the Bumblebees and out there. You're out there when you're 18. You're normally around 18-year-olds, maybe 19-year-olds tops. You're at uni, you're at school, you're around it. You get on the apps.
Not drinking every year.
You set your age range. It's real hard for a 18-year-old guy just out of high school, living at home with mum, to compete with a 28-year-old guy with a hotted up Subaru, Suzuki Swift, as a two-figure income.
Two-figure
and
income.
his own half of an apartment. Like, you get called up. Hey, do you want to come? Do you want to come in my two-seater?
Oh, well, I thought you were going somewhere else there.
Do you want to jump in the back so Mum can give us a lift to the movies, or do you want to come hang out on my private yacht? It's hard for the young kids. When you said sometimes I go for an hour, sometimes I go for 3 hours, that became my goal in life to go for 3 hours. Because I'm like, if it goes for an hour, I'm shit.
Well, you're right in the above average, so make yourselves happy.
Above average, yes.
James, DJing. DJing.
What have you dug up, or what do you think you've dug up?
DJs.
I think it's
DJ Shreeky?
DJ Shreky? That's wow. Where's that from?
I don't know. You tell me.
Where's that from? That would be around the time we would have met. All of my mates. I used to do security.
That was before that. Because
it was before.
You just randomly started DJing one time we were at a pub, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And then you're doing a good job, and I'm like, this is more confusing for me.
So back in the day when what's the program called? They used to be able to use vinyl, but they'd import the music through a digital. Please, someone help me.
I think
Serato.
Yeah, Serato.
They used to basically, it was a new DJ thing, so they could mix mix digital tracks on vinyl. Because I did security, I was friends with the DJs, and one of the DJs lived down the road from me, Skippy, and we just literally used to get drunk on weeknights and mix back to back. Like, I'd just rock up to his house with a carton of beer and be like, hey, I'm not leaving, I've got a carton of beer, and we'd just mix music all night. All fun and games. Until then, I started getting better at DJing than some of the DJs at the nightclub, so it became a running joke. Like, I'd be on the door doing security, and they'd be like, oh, we want to go to the toilet or whatever, and I'd just walk from the door up to the decks and start mixing for 10 minutes, and then they'd come back and invariably carry on their day. So yeah, they used to call me DJ Shrek. Like, my nickname was Shrek.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've also heard that you're not afraid to sing too.
Who have you been speaking to?
It's not that hard to look at someone's Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's true. God, he's got me.
Those damn millennials.
It's the ones and the zeros.
You might want to speak to your parents.
My parents? Fuck. That's concerning.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried.
Now I'm more excited.
I'm not worried about the NSA. I'm worried about the Drake's digital media team.
You are worried about the internet. Anyway.
I'm a very important person. Who wouldn't want to listen to my calls?
So, is it hand in hand if you're a fighter, you've got to be a security guard?
At one point, they were mutually exclusive, I think. I moved on from that.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
One of my mates used to be a bouncer at Dreamers.
Never heard of it.
In the city. Pretty full-on place. So I remember it as a recovery place. So
Okay.
Did it become recovery?
No, recovery was like Square.
Okay. So what was
that on
Dreamers?
Rise?
Where was
Yeah,
Dreamers?
okay. Recovery was before Rise.
Yeah, I remember Rise.
I remember
I was
recovery.
an early starter.
Yeah. Well, no,
I was an early starter. Early finisher too. I think I used to shut about midday.
Yeah, I definitely had some of those.
It's right next to my gym.
Well, how convenient. It's now changed. Now they've turned it into apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
Left the
They're
face.
trying to
Clean up.
separate.
But I mean, you can't. I mean, let's face it. Is it that bad if you wanted to go to a place until midday? Like, is it that bad you're actually at a place that is public compared to, well, it might be bad for some people's facial expressions and whatnot, but is it that bad that it's at a club? I mean, I don't quite see the big issue if someone wants to stay up all night and do whatever. Why? Because all you're doing is funneling
Making up someone else's problem.
Yeah.
To someone's house, and then it becomes like
Police's problem.
problem where you keep it contained in a club. And I'll be honest, I used to go to, this is a long time ago, but she said, well, you didn't get
3 weeks ago.
Well, you didn't get that much trouble, really. You had a little bit.
Things start to come
the basement on Hindley Street, because I used to work at the wool shed, that used to get pretty rough. That used to get, at like 5 o'clock in the morning, that used to get pretty disgusting.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have any situations where your life was threatened?
Not seriously. Like pool cues, like bar brawls, but nothing like Well, we're not in a gun country, so I've never had anything too drastic happen. But yeah, I've had a couple touchy situations.
You weren't doing security?
Seemed like a lot of hard work.
I
thought working at Toys R Us was too much work. Last thing we're going to do is go be a
He
security
went out
guard.
and started fights. I was the one trying to stop him. Allegedly.
That's fair enough. I mean, I'd be brutal being a bouncer. I wouldn't be my cup of tea.
I was the nice one that they sent in first.
Again, gifted the gab.
100%. I was like, they're like, oh, those people are being douchebags. Go over and like talk to them. And then if they were continued to be douchebags, then I'd be like, hey, I think, were you referencing Robbie before?
No.
Robbie, and because Robbie used to work at the Cargo, which was down the road from where I used to work. But he was your more stereotypical bouncer man. But yeah, then we used to get some of those guys in, and I'd be like, these guys are being riffrafflers. I was more of a doorman, glorified doorman.
Or
He had a
maybe a
checklist.
good-looking door bitch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be there for him.
No, it just goes to show that, looks can get you places you'd never been before.
No comment.
Okay,
I plead the fifth.
podcasts. Do you have a favourite podcaster?
Me.
Other than yourselves.
I was going to say you.
You.
Other than me. Is there someone you
There's
listen?
my top two gone.
What's your third preference? What's your third preference in? Could we have a podcasting fans only page?
Oh. So
Okay.
charge for the podcast.
Stop recording.
We're going to get... There's maybe three good ideas in here. We're going to edit them out.
Pretty much the only podcast I listen to is Joe Rogan sporadically. I listen to music.
Yeah, I don't listen to music.
Yeah. You obviously don't have Instagram videos of you singing on the internet.
Definitely not. There's a few things in life I'm born that I'm extremely bad in, and singing is right up there.
Did you see mine? What do you think? Australia's Got Talent?
Oh,
X
easy.
Factor.
Maybe America's Got Talent.
Oh.
Yep.
Look out.
Whoa.
Yep.
Next step's China.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to be
We've
up against
spoken to
Britney
an America's
and
Got
Demi
Talent.
Lovato.
We've spoken to America's Got Talent.
Have you?
We've made questions.
Hans.
Hans?
Who's Hans?
Oh yeah, Hans is the
Hans. That's the
very eccentric.
Yeah. That's Hans.
See my choice of words?
Oh, now I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Hi, sweeties. I've been having a great time at the Fringe.
It was on the TV. No, the
Fringe.
audio TV.
And if
the
you
radio, we call
And
it
if you
back in the
can't
day.
see him on that, you can see him on SA Great with JP Drake.
Oh,
I
well
thought
then,
you were going to go
yeah.
the other guy.
If you can't be bothered getting your TV out of storage and plugging it in, check it out on SA Great with JP Drake.
Something to do. Oh, rhymes and everything. Are you nudging Cozzy out?
No.
No, start
I said
start a
different
scandal.
style.
Fuck, let's
Start a
speak plain.
scandal. Start
I
a scandal. I'm going to start.
a war.
There's a riff.
Now,
Something's
he's a
happening.
bit too polite to say this to you, Cozzy. So I'm going to be his interpreter. Everything you hear now is coming directly from JP. Get fucked. We're coming for you. SA Great with JP rolls off the tongue.
SA Great with JP Drake. Yeah, nah, sorry.
Sorry, mate.
Cozzy, you're out.
Your name don't rhyme. Fuck off.
Imagine that rolling with some footage of Big Bang Bark.
Let's go find that fucking helmet. Ugh. Oh, that was
boys,
good. I really
alright.
enjoy reading the comments on his post. We've got a few mates that get very heavily involved in the comment sections of some of his posts.
On whose post? Yours?
Nah,
No.
Cozzy.
Oh. Yeah, he's got a big fan base. Like,
You've got a huge fan
and
base.
he's a good dude. I
That's
actually,
not what you said earlier.
Back when we turned these mics off, you said, boys, I have to be political, but I want you to go to war. All right? I want you to set this up for me so I can claim, wash my hands of it.
Wasn't me.
It was just the guys on the podcast. Those two dickheads from DCE. Don't listen to them. I'm your mate, cousin.
Well, after that. So when I was sitting there
Wait, the and scene.
thinking of all ways I can dominate the world, taking over Adelaide was just one of them.
Yeah.
Well, you moved into
You got
Queensland
to
now.
rhyme. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
Well, we're halfway there. Halfway.
Living on a prayer. Can you please sing it for us?
No. Go fuck yourself.
So if we're talking about, a bit of Joe Rogan,
You bring it back
Matt,
to-
what are you? Do you listen to anything, or are you more of a music person, or
No, I'm a
just-
podcast person.
Yeah.
I'm the music
Or
one.
is there maybe? Yeah, I like listening to. I listened to one called The Dropout, and it goes through a story of Theranos.
Oh, yes.
It's
The female...
Yeah.
what's his name?
Billion-
I forgot.
No, not his. It's
Yeah.
a girl.
No, the...
Theranos is- she's
she,
a
She
female-
mucked herself on Steve Jobs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she put on a fake voice.
Yes,
and
yeah.
wore the turtleneck.
Yeah, and the podcast, it's on Spotify. The Dropout is amazing. It goes in. It goes into the deposition. It goes into like the news reports, and the lady running it crosses over and puts together. I'd never heard of Theranos, but when I hear it, you're like, man. But you know what? I reckon she's going to get off.
Well,
Like,
okay.
but it seemed anyone that hasn't heard it, and if anyone's listening now, thank you. We really do appreciate it.
So do you think that in your professional
Elizabeth
opinion
Holmes.
of listening to a podcast,
Yep.
was she an example of an absolute mastermind that just got caught out the
Yep.
last minute?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
someone with just a dumb idea and a little bit of heart?
No, it got caught.
You reckon? Do you reckon she was a genius? Or do you reckon she kind of just stumbled upon it? Like, do you reckon she just kind of was bullshitting with her mates? at
Well, the
pub,
idea-
and then it kind of grew and grew and grew.
So
and
for
grew.
5 seconds to sum it, the idea was one drop of blood could produce 300 different results on that drop of blood. So they would take the drop of blood and then get you 300 results of which is unheard of.
Great
right?
invention if it worked.
Unbelievable. But they had stories. It was used on the battlefield. It was used the helicopters had the machine and ran it while they were transporting someone. So they had the most elaborate. You want to con Americans, just start talking about army people and navy people, and they all just get rolled up. And then she talked about how you could put a sticker, a Band-Aid over someone. It would take the blood sample without them even knowing, and then you could get that result. But what the technology they had was a Theranos machine that could do it. It wasn't. It was just they had to draw more blood, and then they would go get your results around the corner from the deli, not the deli, like a legitimate place, and then come back and pretend.
It was all bullshit.
So when they said, they then go, well, in the deposition, they go, well, you said you could do it from one drop of blood. And she goes, no, we didn't say that was the only way.
Okay.
But when you hear it, like you listen and go, you just got caught hard. And the technology, the idea was right, came to market, not right technology for the rollout, right? And then they've started getting millions of dollars. They're getting investors all over the place. The business gets valued at $10 billion. And they had these health and Theranos centers, and they did a deal with Walgreens, which is like pharmacy involved in supermarkets. And they didn't even have the technology that could fucking do it. Yet they hand on heart, she still believes 100% in what she did. And the partner she was having a romantic fling with, and Sonny, and he had lots of money, but no one knew it. And they just kept on driving, and people were loving him. She was female. She was in the right time of where females need to be everything. And everyone promoted her, but she was full of shit.
Fake it till you make it.
And Elizabeth Holmes, if you're listening, prove me otherwise. Fucking don't sue
You
me.
and
for
Cozzy
God's sake.
can both.
Both blow me.
Yeah, well, the idea is amazing, and I'll bet my life in it's a period of time in under 5 years, the technology will be available that you don't even draw blood. And so then they go and interview people. It's a very clever way to. I've never heard a podcast like it. Like, they go speak to people that were directly involved with the cases, like ex-staffers, and and you hear them really talk. I thought it was fake at first, and then I looked at it, so it's all real. So it's very clever. What did I say it's called? The drop
Dropout.
kick, the
Dropout.
Yeah.
How do you go with that though? So they were employing staff under completely false premises.
Thousands of stuff.
Under completely false
Think Apple.
premise.
That big.
Yeah, well, I was talking to someone in the last
Not
day
an
or
actual.
so.
No, James. I don't think you. I don't think you're grasping what I'm saying.
There's an apple
I'm not
on a
talking
tree.
about an actual apple. I'm talking about the company apple.
Like the concept of an apple.
Like a pineapple, but a company, but larger.
Yeah. Well, she copied Steve Jobs to the fact of hiring his ex-employees and then even wearing the black turtlenecks. So copied what he was doing, and apparently,
What's the point of that? I've missed so many bits of information.
You got to listen to the podcast, James.
well, fucking hell, I don't know.
This
It goes
is
seven. It's
how many
8
hours?
episodes.
Yeah.
8 episodes.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez, we're giving you the snapshot here.
I'm
Okay.
trying to give you a snapshot here.
And you're just making it difficult.
Steve Jobs, difficult.
Yeah.
You and Cozzy and Elizabeth Jobs.
Yeah, well, she would change her voice.
Yes. I saw a
So
video
she'd
of
go,
that.
oh, all right, I'm Elizabeth Holmes. And people would sit and comment. She'd go deep and dark in the voice.
And
But
when she get emotional, she'd go back to her
and she'd slip out of
what does
it.
that tell?
See, you know a lot about it. How do you know?
watch the YouTube video.
There you go. Well,
Matt watches a lot of YouTube
I go on some rabbit holes.
it's fascinating because it's still going through the courts, right? But it looks like she. You would. She made comments. Oh, we didn't know that was happening. Oh, we didn't know. And in her deposition, she had 672s. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Company was registered in a canary's name. It's like, I just work here.
I don't know.
You're looking for PJ Fluff and stuff.
Oh, damn! You guys are wow, damn. But yeah, she had like 600. I'm not aware. I don't know that. I don't know. And like one thing you knew about when the whole setup,
that she didn't
knew.
know.
She knew everything.
Oh, right. Oh, shit. You've lost me again.
Yeah. No. Well, she did, but in the deposition, no. But and it's just one of those things. Just deny.
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 Yeah, well, that seems to be a
Right.
popular.
All right. So we get to this time, and then we actually start to ask some questions.
Oh,
Oh, but
the
has
podcast
the
is
podcast
just about to
started?
start. We've done this before.
Shit. Okay.
That was just the interview.
That was the
process.
intro.
You guys have passed.
Anyway, we've decided we don't want a podcast with you, so fuck off.
we thank you for your time.
So I have to ask you individually because I think it's definitely going to be
One thing or the other.
yeah. Well, no, Matt. So I was going to go Matt, James.
Okay.
Matt, James. First question is: if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing?
I think that's the question we asked ourselves 4 to 10 years ago, depending on which one of our stories you ask. That's pretty much how we started. Is if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you do? And we realized we didn't really like what we were doing right now. Let's do what we want to do. So it's a very hard question to answer because I'm kind of doing what I want to do.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know-
fine. Done.
I don't
All
think
right.
there is anything else. And I've stolen your thunder by rambling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. In fact, we had one just recently say that, and they were the first 2 people that have said that. They did play with us and go, oh, you want something a bit different than what I'm doing? And I said, oh, maybe. It's up to you. I don't want to force anyone to.
I know his answer.
What?
Well,
12 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. Jimmy Bang Bang's on the stage.
so
I was going to
James-
say that.
James, if you weren't doing what you're doing now, what would you be doing? I don't know if I want to know this. Do I actually want to know what Jimmy Bang Bang would be
I've had
doing?
an idea.
If it's not OnlyFans, I'm
I was going to say it's where I acquire fans and give them content that's only for them. I'd probably be doing some sort of fans for
Would you
only
charge
the fans.
$2.99 theoretically, or $5.99?
I'd charge $1.50.
$1.50. $1.50?
But no, I'd probably
About $3.50.
I'd be doing similar to what I'm doing. I think we hated individually what we were doing and wanted to do our own thing, and then especially the family business that sort of happened by accident. So, but I feel like that probably would have still ended up happening by accident, but maybe just slower.
So that's the Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yeah.
There's definitely sauces, chutneys.
Yeah, it would
Because we
Dukkha.
haven't talked about Dukkha.
preserve lemons.
Good, actually look like really good flavours in that.
I brought
And
some in for you.
And I did notice no numbers in your tomato sauce. That's
No numbers in any of our products.
okay. That's a big hit. I think
Numbers
that's
aren't his thing.
Yeah, I'm not good with numbers. I like to feel things out more.
So I've been told.
So
Okay.
you've got $2.99.
So Matt, back to you. He's just thinking about his OnlyFans price at the moment. What do you wish? So if you could go back in time and find all the other Matts, God help them, and they're starting out in life like they're 16 or so years age. What do you wish you'd known when you'd first started out that you do know now, and what advice could you give these people? Could be robots, could be aliens, could be ghosts.
I would tell young Matt what every young teenage boy should hear. You are right. The world is wrong.
God help the world. All right, that's some significant advice. What about you, James? What do you wish you'd known now that you didn't? At the ripe... Oh, you guys are pretty young, aren't you? What? 30?
33, 30, 34 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shots it is.
Cheers for that. Cheers.
Sorry, audio again.
Yeah, sorry.
You need the leverage of the
It's a
finger,
real
mate.
mixed barrel with these. It's like gently.
It's all about
and then
leverage.
Boom.
I think it's the angle.
It's all about leverage. So,
That's what I should have said before when you asked me about jiu-jitsu.
true.
Right.
So,
What
do you
would
remember
I
what I said? So if you could come back and give advice to all the other Jameses out there they might not even be a James, they might just be people that are ready to start 16, 15 years old. What advice can you give them now at the ripe old age of 34?
He's the older one.
Okay.
I'm still 33 too.
Okay, you're both 33.
Give me my last 36 hours, all right?
What advice could you give them that you only have learnt in the last 15 years?
Nobody really knows what they're doing. Like nobody really knows the answers. Like you'll meet a lot of people that will very convincingly tell you that they do, but yeah, a lot of don't be fooled by what people portray. I guess is do like. Don't just do whatever the fuck you feel like. I feel like that's become too much of a thing where people are like, oh, I'm just like living my best life. Like there is a point where that becomes, no, you're actually...
OnlyFans.
Yeah. There is a point where that becomes you're a fucking moron. But like work out what makes you happy and like work towards that shit. Because everyone, you ask 100 people and you'll get 100 versions of what'll make you happy, but they're all wrong unless it's what actually makes you happy. So yeah, be careful who you take your advice from.
So you've given multiple there, see?
Yeah, see?
Happy?
That sums him up.
Yeah.
Happy. And I agree. Be careful of who you take your advice on. Are you guys on the club? Are you on Clubhouse?
I've heard of it. No. Do you have to get an invite?
Yeah, but I'm sure they
It's not that
invite
hard to get
everyone.
invite?
Yeah.
I've heard of people speak of it.
Yeah, it's interesting because people are taking advice from people with no experience.
Well, that's one of our back and forth
Key
we've had.
mottos.
Pardon?
Key mottos.
Well, we've spoken about this before. It's like anything you have to do with small business or any business. Like let's pick on marketing because there's probably no one here. Most marketing people just know no one's marketing, but you hand up your own marketing. Most marketing people, you just need to know a little bit more than the person you're giving advice to. That applies to most things in life. Like it's very difficult to tell the difference between an expert and someone who just knows one little bit more than you. And they both seem like the same people, and they both charge $500 an hour.
That's so true. That is so freaking true. You're right. Oh, I love that advice. Okay. Matt.
Do you want to be a millionaire?
If
Lock it
there was one thing on the planet, or if there was one thing that you
World hunger.
if there was one thing in the world that you could change or have an impact on, what would that be?
I'd make myself in charge of everything. I would become the supreme overlord and fix all problems for myself.
Now, you jumped in really quick. I love that answer.
See, I've already got my first.
love that
You're coming in at tier 1. Now that's the tier you want to be at.
No one else is banging your wife.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, sorry. Except the Overlord. Sorry.
tier 1 is the second best position you can be.
So the interesting part of that is people either take that. You could assume that might be a bit selfish, that one. Or
No.
No, I'm going to solve it.
He's philanthropic.
Or they take a worldly...
I think I took the what was best for everyone option.
He's a philanthropist.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay.
It's a new word,
You just keep thinking that. All right. So James. Now you get a bit of a head start because James has time to think about it.
Yeah, well, I am slow though, so to be fair, you're getting the answers in real time.
Okay, so
What
James,
was the question?
So the question is, if there was one thing that you could do that would have an impact on the world, what would it be?
Well, for starters, I would have paid attention while you were asking him the question, so I could have thought about my answer first. Because now
I would have gone in at least tier 2.
Because now I can't think of anything. If I could do one.
So we've had people talking about, making the world
Cure world hunger.
World a better place. People being happy. No homeless. No food.
Yeah, I don't think
wastage.
I wouldn't go to that level.
Do they have any solutions?
Yeah, that's
No.
my. I was about to say that's great, but
World peace.
literally. Fuck, I don't know. I've got no answer for that question. If I could do one thing that helps everyone,
So nothing.
give them try and give everybody perspective into other people's reality would probably be we're
You
talking
want to
about
sell mushrooms?
we're talking about magic. We're talking about magical make believe shit, right? So I would give everybody the ability to perceive the world through other people's worldview of reality. Because I think if we did, it'd make the world a significantly better. Like if everybody could actually understand the way that you view the world. Like some people will look at you and be like, fuck this guy, he's got race cars and he's got a job, and other people people make all of these associations. And if you could actually be like, oh well, actually look at the world through your eyes, and again, everyone's got the same fucking anxieties and shit. Like if everybody actually realized that, I think everyone would be a lot nicer and the world would be a better place.
So a great way where take a walk in another person's moccasins.
Yeah, walk a mile in my shoes.
Yep.
Or your shoes.
Yep.
Because then I'm a mile away and I've
You
got your shoes.
think what it's like to be in their shoes.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, if you are going to have mushrooms, anything on lifecycle.com, JP10.
Are they magic
Have you got a
mushrooms?
discount code? Because
Yeah,
I'm buying but
J-
at full price.
Have you got an OnlyFans?
JP10.
JP10, well, now I got 10% off.
Do you know anyone with a bigger discount code?
I did know one for 20.
Cozzy, can you please give me your discount code?
Cozzy doesn't have one. All right, let's keep Cozzy out of this.
Yeah,
So
'cause he's back the fuck up.
now, James, since you
Don't flip
didn't
it
pay
around
attention.
on me.
We're flipping the genre on its head.
you are
no.
getting this. This is the last question.
Okay.
It stumps people to the stage of
Good.
your answers have been amazing so
Google
far.
it.
Dun, dun.
If you died and came back
Oh.
as a board game, what board game would
Monopoly.
best?
Shit.
I haven't finished.
Okay, carry
What
on.
board game would best describe your sex life?
Monopoly. Building those hotels,
I
baby.
added the sex life in because he jumped the gun.
That's
but-
and my sex life.
Okay, so why Monopoly? You've been to jail. You buy properties.
I like little dogs. And it goes round in there's a good rhythm. There's a good, you just go round and round.
Yeah, he's thinking what I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
Every turn you have to give him $200.
Risk.
Nah, I was more thinking of the memes you could make up from my dogs
Oh, yeah,
and
dog
sex
eating.
life
Yeah,
with the
okay.
podcast meme. Yeah, that would be so funny.
Anyway,
All right,
if you want
Monopoly.
to
You like
join,
Dax?
join my OnlyFans, it's this month $3.99.
It's going up.
Going up.
Capitalism,
You
baby.
could be big.
So Matt. Now, I'll give you time to digest this.
I don't like this going second. I'm a real shoot from the hip kind of guy.
Ask his wife. He
And
likes
you've
to come
given-
first.
You ask me a question, I'll just blow straight away. Give me
got
2-3 seconds, and I'm blowing everywhere.
1.5
straight
children.
off the hip.
Well, if you died
Yep.
and came back as a board game, which board game best describes you? And there's some. So I'll give you. Why are you thinking about it?
Don't
Then
really
we've
think
had-
of 2 board games. So
We've
far.
yeah.
it
See that?
Monopoly?
No,
One was
Monopoly.
yeah. well, See that's the problem. So because
that's
a
the
lot
real
of
answer.
people don't play. So we've had chess. We've had Yahtzee. We've had
Jenga.
Risk. We've had snakes and ladders.
I was going to say that.
We've had a lot. Like I could keep going, but then I feel I'm going to say something to.
You've named more than
I need a nudge because I can only think of 2.
Okay.
Monopoly,
No.
Snakes and ladders.
Well,
Chess.
but, so the snakes and ladders came up from ups and downs. That was easy. Monopoly. There's Uno. There's Connect 4. That was an interesting one. There's drafts. There's that sex game.
Poker?
Wait. What's the
poker?
sex game?
There's
Sort of
that that you spin the thing and you put stuff on.
Is this an OnlyFans
I
thing?
think that's Jenga. I think Twister.
I think you're playing Twister.
Twister,
Yeah.
Jenga.
Twister. Yeah. There's
I don't
that.
know.
I've never.
I don't know what your school priest
It's a-
taught you, but it's not a sex game. You play it with clothes on.
There's that Twister game. Huh?
What's your game?
mine's Scrabble.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the reason behind it is sometimes I say unbelievable things. Sometimes I don't. And you never know what you're going to get. And sometimes it's worth a lot and sometimes it ain't. So that pretty much summed up me. I thought it was...
I thought you were just going to say you like playing with my grandma.
That was a bit of it. We've almost got 2 more minutes in this last hour.
So I've, we've got games like Ticket to Ride, Exploding Kittens, Cooked Aussies, Secret Hitler Game, Dungeons and
It's not that good of a
Dragons,
secret, was it?
Dungeons and Dragons, Code Names,
Cards Against Humanity, a board
Cards
game.
Against Humanity, Sushi Go, Buzzled, Ticket to Ride. I like honey dicking. One night for werewolf.
Are you reading the
What
group
do-
chat?
What do you meme? What do you meme?
meme?
Drunk, stoned, or stupid? Splendor, Catland. Come on.
This part of the podcast is just JP listing.
Fuck game.
Fuck. What is the fuck game?
Twister, fuck!
No, there's another one. It's called Fuck. And you get these cards and they're different colours and you boom, 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 boom. And the colour, you can't say the word fuck, but the card will say fuck. But if it's written in black, you can't say it. You have to say black. If it's got the red background or yellow or green, you have to say the colour of the background. So you keep going to collect the cards.
So you say colours and don't say fuck in the winner.
Yes, it sounds easy.
It sounds easier.
Few drinks, not easy. Dungeons and Dragons, kids, Cards Against Humanity,
Pick a fucking
This is so much more fun.
Squatters, Streaking Kittens, Imploding
And we're back into
Kittens,
OnlyFans.
Organ Donor, Organ Attack, Stab Me With Your Organ,
Title of my sex tape.
Forbidden Island, Wingspan, Sequence, Cradles, Outfox, Monsters Rejects, Unstable Unicorns. My God, there's so
I
many
really
different...
hope that you just cut the podcast there and anyone listening, the last thing they hear is just JP rambling about
There's Monopoly, Burrito, Fog of Love, Barking Kittens. Lots about kittens. What? Escape... Munchkin Deluxe, Harry Potter Period Pack. Oh my God, Cards Against Humanity Period Pack.
Please stop.
That's going to be fucking bloody, that is.
I get it. That took me a while.
The game goes for a week.
No, you only play it every month.
Yeah, for a week.
Skull, Patchwork, Pass the Pigs.
Stop.
Well, I'm giving some fucking tips. Well, he doesn't
I
have an
think this
answer.
is so much more fun.
Rebellion, Spirit Island, Spirit Fingers. See where your fingers can go next.
How many of these are on the screen? How much is easy
Title of my sex tape.
Dungeon Dragons, Dead of Winter, Suddenly Drunk. Like,
Story of
Fucking Thursday afternoon. Thursday, oh, guess what's not happening tonight? Football training.
I'm at page 9 of 61.
Bet you couldn't read all 61.
No. Time.
Small World, Weed Pack, Dutch Tits, Cluedo, Monopoly, again, D&D Adventure, Sleeping Queens, Antidote.
Oh, dear.
So, any come to mind?
Sorry, what was the third one you
You know
said?
what I think you missed? Flip the pig.
Well, we've named a few.
Whew, your mouse is upside down.
Is that a game?
No, there's other games.
Allegedly.
I forgot.
I don't know.
So,
I forgot the question.
as we have found out, it's quite difficult to put yourself as a board game.
Mm.
So I'm making a bit of a special thing happening here.
Is this another challenge for Cosy?
This is going to be something different. If you could come back as fucking anything,
Oh.
what would it be?
Do you have to be fucking it?
Yeah, wait, can you please clarify the question? Where's the comma?
Like, if you came back as anything,
So I came back as anything, not me coming back fucking anything.
correct. That is correct. What would you come back?
Me,
As.
but a little bit taller. Like 6'2", maybe, I reckon.
He's not even lying. He's telling the truth. Oh, shit.
That is pretty funny.
Oh, dear.
Okay, I'll take that.
And where's the
See, that was the problem. You asked him first, and I had too much time to think.
I like that.
done?
I'd like that, but we're not done yet.
No,
Because there's more questions.
They were the intro questions, so now we
The
can start
podcast
the
is about to
podcast.
start officially.
So now that we've looked at it, and it's been a very interesting podcast today. We have discovered a lot of things.
Are we your longest podcast? Because that was my goal.
No.
Uh-oh.
Let's keep going.
Not going home.
A long way
A
off.
lot more toilet breaks before that.
Where's Gemma? We need more beer.
So in discussing, we have discovered quite a lot. Initially, what got your foot in the door was pestering. And that worked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's effective.
And then
Persistence
having a
beats
bit of look,
resistance.
meeting you in the supermarket, servicing your drinks. This guy seems pretty cool. And I'm glad you did come in because the guys are like, fuck, we didn't find too much information on him. And I
You said you had
said,
6 pages.
we do.
I lied.
How much do you normally have?
Normally, I have to study for it,
Oh, well.
like all night, all day for a
Well,
month.
now I know you're lying.
So to come in and actually talk about how you got started, it really does show is all you got to do is be passionate about what you do. Love what you do and understand that not every day is going to be a real happy day for everyone.
Not every day's a podcast.
Not every day is the day.
Correct. Not every, and how lucky are we to be able to talk about the things that you do in a fun manner in an environment like this.
We're normally very serious.
There's worse things to do at 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon than
Well, hang
drink
on.
beer and have a chat.
Let's just be right. This was actually a night podcast. If anyone's listening, it's 7 o'clock at night.
Definitely
Yes,
after
I
hours.
definitely don't
Don't be
drink.
confused.
These guys are getting paid over.
But it does go to show passion, happiness makes the difference. Having a good relationship with your business partner totally makes the difference. And you guys have bought all of that. I think without almost knowing about it, it just happens. And you have your visionary and your visionary. You're both visionary. I think that clearly shows. And someone actually does get down and do the detailed work, believe it or
Until
not.
we can afford to pay someone else
Yeah.
to do it for us.
Yeah. Yeah, even with these guys here, I'm sure.
I like the setup. I like the setup.
Can we just keep them on your payroll?
Yeah, I'll charge them out to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, this guy here is uni. This guy here is uni. Don't
I
worry
can help
about
you
that.
with Tinder.
But forget it.
Who are you looking at?
Anyone?
So one thing I definitely learnt, and it does cement everyone that comes in here, it is the one thing that keeps them coming up and up and up, is the happiness part. There's no doubt that people that are enjoying what they do make the total difference in their mindset and what they do, the people they hang around. And this flows through for this product. You also got a bit of a side hustle as well with the Spice Girls. That's not the singing group. It's a whole bunch of products which you do on another level with the family business. And being able to see this product in our stores is fantastic for your dirty clean eats. Or what do you call it?
Jamu.
You call it Jamu? What
Well,
do you call
Dirty
it?
Clean Eats is the business name.
Yeah.
Jamu's the
So
product.
you call it. So your Jamu really does show that you can push enough and something will happen. You guys have clearly done that.
Just keep hassling people.
Persistence
Put you
beats
in their store.
resistance.
So persistence beats resistance.
and it's easier to ask for forgiveness.
I think
than it
that
is for
worked for
permission.
everyone except for yeah, totally. So thanks for coming in. I look forward to starting our fans only page. I think that'll be something a bit different.
We're going to be big.
Yeah, we'll be
Coming
big.
for you, Demi Lovato. Cozzy,
And
too small
Cozzy,
time
yeah,
for us,
Cozzy,
mate.
watch yourself,
We're
mate.
coming for the big guns.
South Aussie was with who?
So,
Just rewind that bit.
oh, there's plenty of information we can get from him. Just if anyone has made it to this time.
Oh,
It's
Please
the
call Cozzy.
But you can go to the
say we're
TikTok
sorry.
page. What's the TikTok page called?
JP Drake podcast.
JP Drake Podcast. Can we add meme to it? I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, because just
And
changing things halfway
Because we've
through
got
works
some
well.
TikToks in there that you might want to check out now.
Some
Because I
talks.
think you might be some.
Talking and ticking.
Yeah, you'll be doing.
Oh,
some,
we're gonna go find those helmets now and have
Yep.
some sort of
Okay.
jousting.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you
pallet
guys.
jacks.
Thanks for coming on, Bob.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And see you.
Oh my god.